Welcome. Okay, I just gotta say,
Hi, everybody.
I made a gumshoe Slav squat and he's adorable.
That is so damn cute.
Look at him.
It took me a second to figure out what the hell that meant because I wasn't looking at it.
Yes.
But oh my god, that is the perfect gumshoe pose.
So good.
How did you do it, Tori?
It's just, I'm making a little Anna-Mini squat shoe. Yeah, I'm making a little Anna-Mini, which we can watch in a second if we want.
Ooh.
And I was just like, all right, in this thing. Hello, John. Hello, Mason. Hello, Penguin.
Hey, John. Hello, Mason. And hello, Penguin.
In this thing, he would squat like this, you know? It is something he would do in this case, in this scenario. If you guys saw, hold on, I feel like my headphones are not on noise canceling, so let's fix that. They were not, because I could hear myself weird. All right, we're better now. Hello. My brain has died. Yeah, so making an Anna-Mini, and I'm spending way too long on it because apparently that's my MO right now. And, well, it's only Tuesday. I feel like this week has gone by really fast and it, like, has barely even started. So I need to tell myself that, like, it's really not that bad. You haven't spent that much time on this. Hello, Pastry Puff.
Honestly, I gotta remind myself that, too. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep, like, willing the day away for some reason. But, yeah, we want to watch the little Anna-Mini that I have going. This is why, if you guys in the Discord, guys, saw the blue badger
also, hello,
thing.
Pastry.
The little blue badger I animated that guy, that little boy. If it
You
didn't
sure it's
work,
not the blue badger?
it is not the blue badger. He's the blue badger. Yeah, guys, I did a lot of Ace Attorney art in the past 2 fucking days, okay? So, if y'all have not been up to date with it,
or
that's
just
on you.
Inundating us with Ace Attorney art.
So I did the blue badger, and sadly,
we got treated so
for whatever reason, the thing in Discord doesn't work on PC for whatever reason. It works on mobile. It doesn't work on PC. But he dances. And I had to make him for this little animation. So now it is gonna speak. You are gonna hear Dylan's voice and possibly my voice come out of it. So let's pause the Ace Attorney background music. But this is it.
Okay, Blue Badger, where's the killer? Where do you think we should go? And he's like, do. And it's like his arm is slowly rotating in one direction. He's like, oh, great idea.
And he takes off running. And there you go. That's a lot of video. I'm very happy with the spin and his little squat.
Oh, lovely.
And so obviously the blue badger is gonna go here.
Great idea.
And he takes off running. But yeah, that's how the animation is going. I love it. I had to do it. I'm very Slav squat gumshoe is perfect. I'm also really happy with the frames of him like going into a sprint. I'm very happy with that. I think I did very well.
So good.
Just bam, very good. And then yeah, so now I'm basically just cleaning up the lines right now. And then that'll be... Yeah, I'm cleaning up the lines. And then that'll be it. Well, I'll put the fill in behind him. And that'll be it.
Off. You're in good hands.
And that'll be that. So, very good, very nice. I have so many things open at once. But this is not what we're doing today. Sadly, this is not what we're doing today. We're not animating Gumshoe right now.
What do you mean?
Well, I have to actually find the reference images.
We're going to be working on the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Axus? He's the man, the myth, the legend?
One day he could be the man, the myth, the legend.
Well, that's who we're working on today. Axus. Because I gotta learn how to... No, we're not squat shoeing right now. Right now, we need... Ori needs to learn...
We gotta do comic stuff.
We gotta do style settling once again.
And Mars has to do comic stuff too. So much comic stuff.
Lots of comic stuff. Beautiful. So we're doing style assembly once again, and this is a character that, if you have been on the Ko-fi before the hiatus, you may have seen the concept art for. The first... Which axis? The X, the Y, or the Z? Yeah, no. But we have this character, Axus, and he is coming up as well in the comic very soon. And so, just like Everett... I'm tired, apparently. Just like Everett, we need to have him be style settled. Very important. So let me actually find where I have his things. I think they're You know what? It's probably better to do this. Axis. Yeah, there we are.
The Axis powers. Wasn't Hetalia a point of conversation last week?
It was, wasn't it?
Bringing that back.
Okay, thanks for bringing me here and not giving me any what I wanted. Okay, thank you.
The tech issues start early.
It's less
Let's see
that.
if Wacom disconnected
more,
itself
here we
again.
go.
I hope not.
Was this it? I thought I had one more of him.
So guys, again, the disclaimer I gave last week is I am looking at the comic, I am coloring. If I miss anything in chat, I apologize. I am not currently looking at the chat.
So this
I
is
am
Axis.
Coloring like there's no tomorrow.
He is drawn a certain way. You can guess what kind of color he is if you wish, what animal he's based on.
Oh, please do.
Everett does seem like a tired boy. I don't think he'd be a tired boy. He's
Sure, if
pretty
I'd call him tired.
done with the
I think
shit.
eventually
possibly.
he will be tired.
Yeah, he's gonna
Like
go
eventually
through
he's
the
gonna reach his
ringer.
lowest point.
But
at the start of the comic, I don't think he's really tired.
yeah, Fabiana is pretty not tired, I would actually have to say.
I'd say he's the type to push a lot of things that probably should be talked about to the side just to keep trucking along and win somebody's approval. Ooh, I made a good choice choosing hot chocolate tonight.
Nice. I have water and regular chocolate. Boo, but yes, that's what Estrog meant to write.
Now that Everett is. He most definitely is.
He is a boob, yeah.
He is entirely a boob. Not to be confused with a silly factory. That's Milano.
Mm-hmm. Milano's the silly factory. I could have sworn I had one more Axis. Let's look at my Mars talk.
When in doubt, check out the Mars talk. It should be in there. Why is my screen so dark? I can't see shit.
Here
Ooh,
we are.
okay. Good guess with Bear. Mammal, you are on the right track.
That's what I wanted.
You are on the right track with Mammal.
He is a mammal caller, yes. Just trying to find...
Let's see.
Okay.
Is that the color?
I found when I was watching Windbreaker. And I'm sending all of these screenshots
that
of
was
Sakura.
a while ago.
I love...
Sakura
Okay.
is just great Ferrex inspiration.
Guys, the way that y'all can make sure... If you draw anything, right? You guys draw stuff, and you're ever worried about people accusing you of AI, okay? But you, for whatever reason, you can't record speed paints or you can't draw live, whatever it is. Draw little extra doodles. Look at this. Look at this little Kool-Aid man.
So cute.
And it's because I went
canon now. The Kool-Aid man.
The Kool-Aid man is not canon. It's just because I went, oh yeah, on his like face concept. I was like, oh yeah, and I wrote that, and so I drew.
Like, well, now I have to.
Yeah,
bring
so
this
now
into
the little
physical
Kool-Aid
plane
man
by
needs to be there.
drawing it.
What's cold chocolate? I mean, you could get iced hot chocolate, Estrock. There's a place called Serendipity
delicious.
3's, and it's in one of those like underground level stores in Manhattan, and it's really good.
Like a hole in the wall type place, right?
It's actually pretty famous, but it's like the door is not at street level. You know, you have to walk downstairs to get to it. You know what I'm talking about? Like in Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just trying to think of the phrase hole in the wall.
No. In Manhattan, a lot of stores in certain areas specifically are actually below sidewalk level. And
it's true. And sometimes those are some of the best stores.
They advertise. Well, Estrock, they have frozen hot chocolate, and it's delicious.
It's so good. Basically, think hot chocolate, but as a slushie. It's really
great.
Good.
AI could never, indeed. Hello, Federico. We are doing Axus.
Federico. Yes, this is another character from Outcast.
But yes.
He's going to be playing a pretty important role coming up
and
soon.
he actually has no colors yet. So maybe we'll do that.
So we get to decide those.
I mean, I definitely obviously have an idea based on the animal that he is. And maybe now that I'm going to draw him here and now again, maybe you can guess. He is not a bear, though. None of the kinds of bears. But bear is not dissimilar in...
So, Pastry Puff, to put you on the right track, pay attention to the design of the hands.
Okay, I'm very fucking happy with this hand. I mean, it is a very bear-like hand. I do see how he got there. I do see how he got here. But this little note here, blunted nails, that might help too. But I will say, very happy with this hand. This hand just looks gorgeous. I'm like, mwah, mwah. Ori did art there.
It came out so good.
Ooh, no, Pastry Puff, but you're getting closer in size from Bear. We went down in size.
Very close.
Mongoose Badger!
Close.
Yes, Estrock. He is specifically the American Badger, which is very important distinction because he is not the European Wind in the Willows Badger. Okay?
They are very different types
the
of
American
badgers.
Badger. And again, hopefully his colors will help with that too. But I did try to put his ears on the side of his head. The blue badger, no. Blue badger doesn't look like a badger at all. So let's put the boy on the screen. There he is. This is the American badger.
I think you gotta bring up a European badger too for comparison.
Character Wolverine was originally a badger? I didn't know that. That's pretty wild. But I do hope
they went with Wolverine though. That's just sorry, badger.
I was debating a Wolverine for him, but I specifically wanted because
we went back and forth on that a lot actually, from what I remember.
We did.
Like we really wanted him to be a Wolverine.
There was debate.
I'm trying to remember why we decided against it.
Because we liked the specific difference between the European Badger and the American Badger. Being like he's the scarier version.
European Badger being brought into the cast to like actually highlight the difference.
I don't know if we talked about that, but they're really
or
cute.
Even someone generalizing.
So remember, this
like,
is the American Badger, and honestly, that's a fairly like tame image of them. Let me try and get a little.
They're usually a bit more feral.
Here's a good feral looking one. They got like hyena vibes in them a little bit. Look at that one.
They do.
Just the snoot shape.
Ooh, now that's a ferocious
So this is like American Badger. And then look at this fucking teddy bear. Look at him!
Look at that snarl.
How they're related?
Now look at this guy. Look at this polite little gentleman.
Look at this little man.
Look at him.
He's just a
baby.
Even when he smiles, look at him. He's just a little boy. He's just a little boy.
He's got a little mask. And look at that. He's so eager. He's so happy.
A Monty Python Sparrow bit both with badgers. Yeah, you could. There was the reason that I like learned about this specifically. Was vertical panda. I could see that.
Vertical panda. That is accurate.
Was because there was like a post, and it was like I read The Wind in the Willows as a child, and I never understood why like he was so cute, right? Like the badger was so cute. Like everyone was like, oh, like why did we like? They're scary. And then everyone in the comments is like, what do you mean badgers are scary? They're adorable. Look at this thing. And they showed the European badger. He's like, that's what it's supposed to be? I grew up around this thing, and then showed this motherfucker, the American badger.
Oh my god.
It's like, oh my god.
S-Truck, I was honestly going to compare it to a honey badger, because like the whole attitude
honey badger don't
that
care.
we were vibing with was
honey badger don't give no shit. Yeah, we were. Honey badger was on the table. Wolverine was on the table.
Sold us.
I remember what the problem was. We specifically were sold on its.
I think it was the markings.
No. It was the Well, that's a horrific thing. I'm gonna stop looking at that. Thank you. That was very interesting.
Jesus.
Honey badger gore art in a weird beehivey way that I just couldn't know. All right.
Oh no! Abort mission.
I don't remember him being a Chad. He was just like a little man in a bow tie kind of vibes, you know. But yeah, pastry puff. That's a vibe too. But no, it was the region that they lived in, because the region where Axus is from, we wanted to be more like the North American, like northeast area. So in colder climates, honey badger doesn't live in colder climates.
The colder
and
climates.
Wolverine was also not
it. Chose. I forgot it comes to the climate location.
That's why we didn't do honey badger. And Wolverines, they're too far north than we were going. And they're more west. Yeah. They're more north.
We had to find that sweet spot.
So it was
for
like,
where
all right, the
Axus
American
comes
badger.
from.
Are they a villain, a bad badger, perhaps? Dylan literally asked me the other day, he's like, would you still love me if I was the blue badger? And I'm like, he's a good guy. Like, he's the good guy. That's fine. And he's like, what if I was the bad badger? And I was like, no, you were evil. You killed all those people.
He's only the bad badger if there's someone in the suit that's bad.
No, Esdrock. The biggest thing is partially what we want the world's climate to be, which is more middling than what we currently have today. And just each sort of island that you can be from does sort of have its own sort of analogous area of the world that I am trying to have the callers who are from there have animals that resemble the native fauna of that place that I've decided that town is of, just to kind of tie it in together as being, because I always feel like when you have like animal characters, you always put them like, oh, these are the wolves and these are like the big cats, you know, and these are like and it's like these are the raptors, and it's like I don't like having to Proto Badger might be a deal breaker. That one's creepy as fuck.
Ooh,
Pink Badger, she's fine.
Terrifying.
She's equally as fine as the regular badger, the blue badger. He's gonna have some sort of hair. I don't think it's gonna go fully black. As you can see, he's not fully black. He's like a brown. And I do like these like tawny colors in here. So it'll be interesting. But he will have some sort of like this. I specifically like the pattern found on this one in shape. You know, this one has a smaller head stripe. I really like the very distinct. Because I also tried to do that in his face with the hair. You know, having like the floofs on the sides and stuff like that. So let's actually get to trying to draw him a little bit. There's never been a possum Pokemon. I think the reason, I'm gonna say it, I think the reason is they're not near Japan. There's definitely no Virginia possum in Japan.
No.
So there's no opossums in Japan, because that is specifically a Northeast American thing.
I don't think there's any alligators in Japan either, and yet they have for alligator.
Do they not have crocodiles, though?
They might have crocodiles,
And
which
they're
would explain
close
crocodile.
enough. They're close enough. So there are possums in Japan, but they don't look like our opossum. They look more like squirrels. So
Dark
that's...
type, ghost type, possum Pokemon.
There is no... isn't one of them is recently... No. One of them is
A Lego
America.
Pokemon? I did not hear about that, Mason.
Mason, what's the one that's New York and New Jersey? Black and white?
Unova.
So that's 5,
Yeah, black
right?
and white, Gen
Black
5.
and white. So there is that one. But see, S-Jock, they did us dirty! They did us dirty, and they gave us the garbage Pokemon, and the ice cream Pokemon, and the
Vanny,
goth
we still
Pokemon.
got Scolipede. We got Escavalier, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, metally, buggy, poison types.
I don't remember Durant being amazing, but it was there.
I'm
What were
just
some
saying.
of the other ones?
I'm just saying. They definitely went in a direction that was not having
I never
possums.
used Zebstrika,
They are
but Zebstrika
fine.
is a fun concept.
I just think it's funny. Yeah, they went like a lot more construction. Girder, timber, conkeldurr, you know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Conkeldurr is so ugly.
Conkeldurr is terrible, I'm sorry.
I hate that this cute little rodent turns into that. So sad.
Yeah, but there's no, they didn't get any opossum
Okay,
Pokemon
Penguin.
here.
I raise you this. How is Gears different from how it's Megamite? No.
Magnemite?
Magnemite. Thank you, Megamite. Oh my god, and me.
Cryogonal? Which one's that?
But how is that any different from the Gears? How is the Magnet
is that the
Pokemon any different from how the Gears evolve?
Cryogonal. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
They just-
Cryogonal's a little lame.
Cryogonal's lame.
Chew is cute. I don't mind Cubchoo.
I love Litwick and Lampent
Litwick and Chandelure are so
yeah,
fun.
They're great.
Configregus is also really cool in Yamask. Is it
Elgheim
Yamask?
and Beeheim are kind of mid. I don't know what they're supposed to be.
You're gonna make me look up a list, aren't you?
I'm looking at a list when I should be doing other
Pokemon
things.
Gen 5. Here we go, down the rabbit hole.
I'm sorry. Pokemon lose a lot when they become 3D.
I like the sprites.
Elgheim and Beeheim are cute when they're 2D, but then I see their 3D models and
How
I'm
did
just
I forget
sad.
Excadrill? Excadrill was cool. Come on,
You're
my
aliens.
boy.
3D in Pokemon was a mistake. Thank you, S-Jock. All of the 2D images are better. I don't need them to move. Okay. I love the pixel art, 100%. I love the top down. I love the sprites. I love it a lot.
I
would
would
be
S-Jock.
so happy with that being forever. However, if you wanted to up the quote-unquote, like, HD-ness of it, just make them 2D images. You still draw the 2D images. Even the new Pokemon, still 2D images, because you need to make them for the fucking card game. Why can't we just have 2D? I don't need them to move, man. I don't fucking need them to move. They can sit there and bounce up and down and have no issues. I don't.
Enough of your proclivities with prostitutes.
No. What?
Oh
They can
my
sit there
god,
and bounce
Dylan.
Wow.
Bruh. That took a turn.
It does age far, far, far better. Yes, that's what I'm saying, is Struck.
is
The
just
modern ones are so
timeless.
sad. Every time I look at them. You might put a video on Couch, and yes, let me look at Couch for Mason. I love how I've done none of this. Oh, also, guys, if you are Ace Attorney people and you haven't been looking in uncensored or edited, I did a lot of Ace Attorney art, so go. I made a little Edgeworth.
She did.
Go
give her some appreciation.
Thingy. I don't need validation. Or appreciation. I just say don't miss out, you know, because they're in like different things. There's a Lego
the Lego
Pokemon?
and Pokemon trailer.
Wait, like
You
to
know,
Lego
honestly-
sets? Like making Lego sets? I don't want to watch it because there's
Is it
probably
like
sound.
a whole Pikachu? Can we make a whole Pikachu?
If it's sets, that's pretty cool, but they'll never give my boy the set. Yeah,
They'll never give Siglith the set.
Let me go to the, what was it, the Pokemon merch store, right?
It
Is
was
that
the
where...
Pokemon Company store. I looked up Absol. There's only one plush of him. So sad.
Yeah, I sent Mars this, like, short, and it was like, I hate all those people who are going, like, oh no, my boy, my favorite Pokemon never has any merch, and it's like, I don't even know what it was. But, like, a Pokemon that has decent amount of merch. Like, it's obviously not, like, Poster Child, but it has, like, decent amount. Oh, Psyduck.
Politoed.
Psyduck. No,
He
his was
liked
Politoed. He liked Politoed. But it's like, oh, like, I hate when, like, there's people that are like, oh, my favorite Pokemon's Psyduck. Finally, Psyduck gets the It's like, bitch, please. Psyduck has 4 pages on the fucking store. Okay? I love and this is him. He's like, I love Politoed. And there are one thing on the store, and this fucking pin, and he's not even the main focus. He's like in the background. And so I gotta see. Mars looked at Absol and said you had two pages.
No, I had one page when I looked up
Siglith. There you go.
Absol.
Let's look up
So
Siglith.
sad.
Siglith has one single thing, and I will say, it is the Sitting Cuties plush. So I won't lie. It's not
Ooh.
terrible. Not terrible. But it
At
is
least it's a
one
plush.
thing. That's
Yeah,
wild
Absol
as
only
Rocket.
had
There's
one
only
Sitting
like
Cuties plush
one
too,
little
and I'm
thing.
like,
I mean, I will say, for like Siglif's like whole deal to be made into a plushie, like this is pretty good. Like I would not be upset with this
exactly,
plushie.
Pastry Puff. Like, what do you mean? Psyduck was in
Yeah.
the lineup as one of the
Exactly.
original friends. He's not neglected. Not even close.
Yeah,
Those people
But it was
don't
just like
know
a
what
funny-
true pain is.
a funny thing. Okay, Politoed has 2 shirts of the same print, different cuts, where he's just a part of it. A pixel pin, the Sitting Cuties plush, and this pin where he's like in the background of it.
God. So sad.
Absol, you have a shirt and
Okay.
this book of dark types that apparently I'm assuming Absol is in. And of course the Sitting Cuties plush. I will say, the Siglif Sitting Cuties plush is only fucking $12 and not sold out, so
Kind of based.
kind of based. Oh my
Ugh.
god, I fucking
No one gives our
love
Pokemon any love.
the comments on this though.
Oh,
What is this?
what'd you find?
Absolutely incredible. She is my daughter and her name is Cuneiform. She's the light of my life and I don't know how I lived without her before.
We need more Charizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, this was on my granddaughter's Christmas list, so I know she'll be thrilled to receive it. Base, granddaughter. Base.
Okay, that's wholesome as hell. Oh my god. So cute.
These reviews are really selling it for me. Not gonna fucking lie. This is my little guy! I've been waiting forever for my buddy Siglif to get a plush. His name is Marvin. My
Oh.
friend Marvin is bad at sitting on his own, but look at it. That was expected. I love him regardless of his ability to sit without support. Very small and very good plush.
Ori, can you look up Comfey for John?
Okay, yes.
Is there any Comfey merch?
Let's look up Comfey. Marvin, his friend. I can't with these little reviews. Big Lip always deserves a plush, and here it is, and it's beautiful. My new son, adoption paperwork pending.
It seems like you're in good company, Ori.
Comfey has no solo merch. Comfey has a Blossom Pokemon poster that they are a part of. And a sold out 2023 Pokemon World Championship deck that apparently includes Comfey in it.
Damn. That's
Yep,
so
right
sad.
there on the box. Right there on the box. It's right there. You get a Comfey card in it. Snom would be a great plushie. There's no
if
way.
Snom isn't a plush already, I will be very surprised.
Snom has nearly a full page. Snom
Okay,
has
they should make lit with candles.
hooded pajama onesie, knit headband, a trading card game, Cool Friends double deck box, another hooded onesie pajamas, a skateboard.
Damn.
In a sock pack, in part of bulb ornaments, a plush, but he's sold out. A card sleeves, a sweater, another pin, a hat, a polo. He's part of this cute little holiday well wishes. Okay, you gotta see this shit. I am not a Pokemon, like, crazed fanatic. I play the mainline games, and that's, like, it. But look at this shit.
Okay, show it off. I gotta see. Oh my god, that's so cute.
Cannot. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Pokemaniac,
why
thank
did
you.
you show this to me?
It's sold out. You can't buy it.
Pics.
You can't get it. It's sold out.
Good. Good. I can't afford it.
It's fucking damn. Like,
that is adorable, though. Oh my god.
That is so cute. It was so cute. Okay, let's actually draw Axus. He's not cute.
We really should.
But he is hot because, like, I mean, look at him. I don't know. I can't not. That's it.
Oh no, Axus is definitely hot.
I am unable to not.
And would you believe that he is one of the younger members of the cast?
They're all big boys.
He's a sprout. Still growing, still learning about the world. Of course, it's hard to do that when you're in prison.
Spoilers.
Drew the chains on his arms.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, it could be just flavor. It's flavor.
Hey,
I'm still this
allowed to
hand.
hype people up.
This hand is so good. I will not get past
it's so fucking good.
this hand. I just gotta keep.
He's innocent. I'm glad you believe in him, Estra.
There's a lot of trauma in this boy.
A lot of trauma. So much trauma.
I'm just gonna flatline say most callers have a lot of trauma in the universe. I feel like y'all can guess why.
I feel like it's hard not to have trauma if you're a caller in this universe.
Yeah, like y'all can definitely guess why. Well, and also, maybe I'll make him look a little younger now. We hadn't nailed down his whole thing when I designed him. We were basically like, boy badger guy, and when I designed him, so...
And buff. Buff was important because he's a digging boy. He's a badger after all.
The badgerness kind of comes with the buff. Just like a bear, you know, would have to be like a bear of a guy, you know?
He's got to be hulking.
Or a bear of a woman.
But
I don't know, woman
guys,
bear.
It's very
next.
possible for younger people to have hulking figures. You want to laugh.
He's also not that much younger. Our crew is not old either, but it's not like he's a child.
But we're talking college age versus
a full adult,
junior in high school.
Yeah.
No, you want to know how embarrassed I felt the other day? 2 weeks ago, they brought middle schoolers into the elementary school for Read Across America week.
Mhm.
I'm standing out in the hallway waiting for one of my students. These middle schoolers walk past me, and they are either my height or taller. The only thing distinguishing me as not a middle schooler are my work scrubs and my badge.
Yeah, Mars is short, guys. We knew this.
These middle schoolers were tall. They did not
Yeah,
look like middle
sure.
schoolers.
It's the middle
They
schoolers.
were. I'd take pictures if it weren't weird.
I'll believe you.
That's a good comparison, Pastry Puff. That's what I
Ooh,
think
there's
is going to
something-
be fun about Outcast. I think you can apply it to a lot of different experiences.
I feel like that's the enjoyable part about putting it on a non-specific experience. You know, where it is
Yeah,
like
exactly.
kind of like how Mulan is definitely not the story of like a trans man, but like totally could be. You know, totally could
Exactly.
be.
Or like, I was actually watching this one earlier today. Like how you could see The Incredibles as like, oh, this family needs to go into hiding because society is against them, and for those reasons.
Yeah.
Or you could see it as, yeah, this is just a movie about superhero families. Lots of different interpretations.
Oh yeah.
Those, I think they're pretty fun. We all know Mars likes to interpret shit, so.
Points at Mashley. Yeah, exactly. Another great one. Pastry Puff.
Mhm.
Mars just told me. I don't know if you know, but we're getting another cute High Earth
We
Defense
are.
Club.
Cute High Earth Defense Club.
It's called
season
High Color.
3.
So I don't know how they count. It's technically season 4 because we had 2 seasons of the first group, 1 season of the second group, and then we have High Color now. But so that'll be cool. It's a new group. Like, it's not Happy Kiss, 2 or something. It's not like Happy Kiss Kiss. It's High Color.
Yep, brand new one.
And
Here, Pastry, I'll send you the one I saw, because I got you in my DMs.
the My Anime list.
You, it's on the way. Help is on the way, dear.
He does have a little bit of the Edgeworth bang going, but it's not identical.
There it is. Yeah, new Happy Kiss.
No,
new
it's High
Earth.
Color. Yeah, new High Earth.
High Color.
It's called High Color. That's the English.
Yippee!
But, like, the Japanese is basically just like, it is a badger, Allie! Yes, I don't know if you saw the
is
badger,
Allie.
but he is a badger. The American
Yes,
badger.
this is going to be our badger Axus.
Yes.
Ori, could you cue everyone into the taxonomy of the name choice?
Yes.
I feel like that'll be a good reveal. I'm mostly saying this because I'm trying to figure out how to do Sinet's stripes with all these other elements in the way.
Yes, so the badger...
Maybe I just color it and then I erase.
The badgers, the American badger specifically, but badgers are some of them in the genus Taxidaea, and specifically the American badger is Taxidaea taxus, Taxus, and so from there's also a bunch of like subspecies. There's Taxus taxus, Taxus jacksoni, Taxus jeffersoni, and Taxus berlandieri. Berlandieri, yeah. But Taxus goes to Axus, and that is how we got Axus. Done a puzzle that involved that genus. Well, what's very
Ooh.
interesting, Estrock, is that Taxus is also a plant genus. I think it's the genus. Yeah, it's a genus. It's the U genus is Taxus. Yes, exactly. There you go. U's are of the genus Taxus. They are spelt identically the same. Badgers are not in charge of taxes. Thankfully, because they'd badger you about it even more than the IRS already does.
Ugh. Yeah, you don't want a badger asking you about taxes. Would not be a fun time.
Oh, Allie, I
I'm
would
now
also.
genuinely wondering if any tax firm has used a badger as a mascot.
I wouldn't be surprised. All right, you know
Unknowingly.
what? I'm just gonna do it because I'm a narcissistic artist. No, that's not why. I want to look at them again. We're gonna look at all my Ace Attorney art today. Look at them! Because none of it's actually spoilers, but it's in some channels that may be considered spoilers. So I'm gonna look at it anyway.
Mason?
But I was drawing a... yes, Mason. They're all like places or cities in Australia.
Wait, places in Australia.
Yeah.
That's right, because Melbourne.
And Adelaide. Addie.
Yeah, that's it.
And Sydney. But yeah, Melvin's from Melbourne, I think. I think that's how we got there. I think that's how Mason made it work. But yes, so we have the boys. I was making a thumbnail of Edgeworth teaching on the board, and he was like underlining something in chalk. And I was like, oh, okay, he would totally write it in cursive. And then I went, oh my god, Phoenix totally has no idea how to read cursive. Like, that's just, like, immediately, like, the headcanons just came. And I was like, all right, now imagine,
too much sense.
like, Edgeworth giving Phoenix, like, a letter, like, a little love confession note or something, and he just can't fucking read it. And then I was like, all right, it has to be them as children. Like, I just want that. And so it's, like, Edgeworth being like, oh, frilly paper. He's, like, practice how to draw this. It's fancy. And Phoenix is like, what the fuck is that? I can't read any of this.
Code?
Is this some sort of code?
Something I must solve?
Right, Allie. I just, like, it hit so immediate. I was like, these boys, this is how these boys go. And then,
it just makes too much sense.
Then there was a very long conversation. I don't know if it was that long. There was a significant conversation in, some of the Ace Attorney, channels of the Discord that where we were talking about, like, basically ended up what extracurriculars Francisca and Edgeworth, but like mostly Francisca would be doing because we didn't know a lot of her like in game outside of court. And we got to like definitely horseback riding and some possible karate because she's like, so this sort of thing. And so I was like, all right, I have to draw child Francisca doing these fucking sports because honestly, horseback riding Francisca too good, and like I just thought karate Francisca would be super cute.
Karate is just neat.
And then, yeah, less than worthless, my boy.
Oh, no.
He went to art school. Yeah, artists are known for their bad penmanship, but then I was thinking about like Francisca's dynamic with Manfred von Karma and everything, and like Edgeworth Francisca's child dynamic. And so I'm like, all right, she's obviously competing in these sports, right? She's definitely competing in karate. She's definitely like doing horseback riding competitively, right? So she obviously does everything to the best of her ability. This whole thing, she wins first place a lot. And so, but we know
she'd have to
from, you know, some future game interactions, mild spoilers, Allie, very mild spoilers of just a little backstory. Basically that, like, Manfred kind of doesn't acknowledge her very much compared to Edgeworth. And I think I sort of headcanoned that as being he solely cares about the getting the guilty verdict, like, prosecutorial related, like, accomplishments. Like, nothing else is good. He gives zero shits about any other accomplishments. It's solely, like, in the courtroom being a prosecutor. And so, I drew this little comic where Franz is getting tons of, like, gold medals from karate and blue ribbons from horseback riding, and Edgeworth just has this one little paper with a blue ribbon on it. I was also seeing fencing, Allie. Yeah, I nearly did a fencing pose. I was actually gonna do young Edgeworth in a fencing pose. That would have been fun. But I didn't have a lot of time. And then so I was like, oh, okay. But then so we see you know, they're here. She's really proud. He's kind of like, oh shit, she's a lot of stuff, whatever. Von Carva comes home. He sees Edgeworth's paper, which is a guilty verdict for like the state mock trial competition or something. So that means Edgeworth got the guilty verdict. He was a good prosecutor. He gets that little, yeah, seriously. He gets that little head pat of validation, the only fucking validation this man could possibly ever give. And he just leaves poor Francisco because it's not prosecutorial related shit. It's horseback riding and stuff. It is so sad. And no wonder she
freaking hates him in the future.
I feel like it's very much like the sole contact he does. Wandering, like I don't know. Do you ever?
I'm like, job. I just see it as obligatory head pat. Done.
Yeah, it's very deadpan. Like Edgeworth is like, this is the only fucking like
it's
human
not even a
contact
proud
I
look
get.
Or like
no,
sudden, like, shift
it's
of
totally
the eyes,
like he is on his side. He has never looked Edgeworth in the eye. There is one pat on the head, and that is everything to these two children because they have no physical contact otherwise. You know, so for Edgeworth, it's like, oh my god. But Von Carver's literally just like, yes, child, good, walk away. There needs to be some sort of positive. Yes, yeah, seriously though. Yeah. Oh, it's adorable. Oh, it's so
it's traumatized.
Pastry puff. I'm gonna, y'all, keep it a little under wraps, but not super under wraps, but a little under wraps. So I have not gotten further in the anime Pastry Puff than, I think I've literally only done the second. I think, am I going into the fourth trial? I think I'm going into Turnabout Goodbyes. But, yeah, I'm going into Turnabout Goodbyes, because I watched Turnabout Samurai.
Depends on what you're describing.
But, we actually have plans, because Mars only saw the sub and many years ago, and Dylan hasn't seen the anime at all, and because I only got a little ways in, okay, I only got a little ways in, we're actually gonna watch it all together. And the dub specifically, and then of course get to watch the bloopers as they come by and all these sort of things. Yes. And Mars, Wednesday, Dylan has confirmed that he will do it. And what time would you like it? 8:45?
I think 8:45 can work.
We'll do 8:45.
I can make that happen.
Wait, I wasn't gonna say the secret part because Dylan was here. I mean, he knows about it, but I didn't want him knowing that I'm spoiling it to you guys. We're gonna record it, and we're gonna do a little react thing for the YouTube channel. And you guys are gonna have that, and hopefully,
you get to see our reactions.
Hopefully, will be interesting and cool and fun, and that'll be a little extra YouTube channel thing.
Or if you and I could be interesting during anime times, I know you and Dylan are definitely interesting when you guys watch shows together.
See, that's the thing. He's not. Solely because he's invested. But I do think that because this is something where he knows the plot, he will be more, and I'm like telling him like, you need to like pause the shit and like be like in it and stuff. So I'm very excited. And so we're gonna do that, and I think it's gonna be very fun, and I'm still gonna do my little doodles with them, so that'll be like something probably at the end of the videos or whatever will be the doodles that I have for the episode, because I like doing my little doodles to the episode because it's really funny. But I'm very excited
thumbnails,
because what I saw and from what like I had done doodles for already, I think it's gonna be absolutely hilarious to actually watch together, because while it is obviously following the storyline of the games, I know that there is like an extra plot point that happens in the anime in the first, season, first half of season 1. I don't know how they break up the seasons. It's a little weird. But in the stuff that encompasses the first game, right? I know there's like more there. I know obviously there's no Rise from the Ashes content. But I am very it is going to be fun. From how I had a fun reaction time from doing it by myself, I think it's going to be really enjoyable. And I hope that you guys and the rest of the YouTube channel will like it. It won't be like a regular thing in the sense of like I won't have like it comes out every month or something.
An
It'll
upload
basically
schedule.
like when we get to
Because
it.
we just unfortunately can't guarantee that.
Yeah, we just can't do it that
Such is
crazy.
life.
I will say Dylan is if it does well, Dylan is way more invested in making it a regular thing. Okay, I'm really glad you guys are excited. Okay, I'm very happy. I was like, this is a little different.
Very well.
Yeah, this is a little different what we do, but it's still like in the general vein, and we'll still have like our little PNG tubers. Like, there's gonna be like a whole thing, and I have some crazy plans for the music. Fucking stopped, YouTube. Yes, I'm still watching. Yeah, it will come out ever Blue Moon. Oh my god, I'm very glad that you guys are really excited for this. I'm very happy. I was worried. I was like, I don't know how interested people are gonna be on this.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
So, very excited about that. There is other things I've been working on. Okay, we'll show off more things I've been working on. You guys are getting a little sneak peek on a lot of stuff. Not because I don't want to draw Axus. There's just been a lot of stuff. So I also showed this off in the Discord briefly, but no, I think it's here. Yeah. So I actually made a Ace Tooney dialogue UI, I guess is what I'm calling it. And it is obviously based off the Ace Attorney UI. It is related to it. It is inspired by it, but it is certainly different. We have our little names.
So Capcom, don't sue us.
It can't sue us or anything. But we have our little dialogue thing, and it's a little spade because of the aces. And then we have our little names. And our names look more like this. Ooh, that'll be the font of them. So it's like that. And then my card has the little green ace of spades. And then Mars's card will have the little purple ace of spades. And then Dylan's card has the little Joker text because that's what he is. He's the Joker. And then, so, in certain circumstances, if we're voicing a character, say, it'll have our card, but the character's name. So it'll be like that. And yeah, joke. I can't have the whole thing. It doesn't work out. But so if it's like, oh, Dylan's voicing, Gumshoe, it'll be like that. And these sort of things. Basically, the whole reason... One, there is a test run. I think it's next week. Some middle of next week they come out in shorts. It'll be a little toned down from what the shorts is with that, but it will basically be the same. But the biggest thing is actually going to be, so when we move over, when Justice for All is all edited and done and has all the VODs out, Trials and Tribulations is going to come out, and we have new avatars. The ones we use now, right, are the ones that are in Trials and Tribulations. That's when we switched over. But these little, like, talking sprites, I guess is what I'll call them, are still based on the old 1.0 avatars. And especially Dylan got, like, a big redesign with his horns like, design. So this is still his old design. And so what I actually have planned is Ace Attorney style sprite animations for us. So they're like just a couple of things, but we'll have our own.
And Ori let us pick our own sprite animations.
So I have them all written down.
Different things.
So they'll have like we'll have like, I think it's a thinking and a conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy,
and
explaining.
Yeah, explaining. So those will be the whole things. And they'll be like lightly animated like the Ace Attorney ones are, so where it's just like a couple of different frames and they're not like a full body thing. I'm definitely like forcing myself to keep it kind of toned down. But this will be used in the videos where our sprites come up, but it'll have the dialogue box too, with our dialogue card as well. So that is the goal. That is the current plan of the whole thing. And then ideally, that'll be like, this is because when we rebranded to Ace Toony, right? We finally got like our aesthetic down. You know, now we have like a brand presence, I will say.
We finally got out of our growing pains.
Yeah, to rebalance him for the current
which
meta,
was
exactly.
so nice.
And so we finally rebranded where we have a really like specific brand presence. And so in theory, they'll be used for all games in the future. Will be this like Ace Attorney inspired dialogue UI, but it won't be like a whole thing. Yes, the text color will always be the same. The text, I will not get rid of the text color. One, I'm attached to. It's good. Yeah, this is not to replace the text color, but what I've actually been doing is I usually don't actually have the like the open captions.
Bars,
I don't have the open captions usually for these long exposition-y talks, and the main reason for that is just editing the opening captions is the vast majority of my time, and that's why I have Zilla to do like about half of it, because it just takes a long time. But with this setup, I don't need it to be as snappy as the dialogue, the rest of the open captions, right? So the open captions are kind of short. They go with the pace of when we talk, and then there's a whole thing. So this could just be a whole long string of text on the screen while we're doing the thing, because the interest comes from
it
our
doesn't have
avatars
to be
moving
up
a little bit.
like we've been doing.
Exactly. And so it's it'll definitely have as you can kind of see, the inspired setup of how like Investigations is set up. You can actually see, oh no, I won't show that because it's technically little spoilers, but I have like the the Investigations
don't fly too close to
like
the sun.
screenshot in the back here for that, to show that off. That's kind of inspired. And then that also, I will totally admit, Investigations having the sprites and then they're literally just mirrored on the other side, they're not like redrawn to be the other side of the character, definitely made me feel a lot better, because I'm like, oh fuck, we're asymmetrical. I need to draw the other side, you know, out of the thing. But Ace Attorney's like, no, you don't. And I was like, you're right.
If a
I don't.
AAA gaming
Seriously.
company doesn't have to worry about it, neither do you.
Seriously. And that's exactly how I feel about it. So I'm glad you... Oh, and then I might have... So, backing up again, because we'll have the new current avatars for the React videos, right? Asymmetrical, there you go. I'll probably have this UI also in the React videos when we're talking specifically, since we won't have our like faces in it, right? Having our avatars come up with the like 3 different sprite options will be more engaging, ideally, hopefully, because like specifically you won't have our faces in it. It's not going to be face cam. I don't know if anyone didn't know that. It won't be face cam. It'll be our PNG
Sorry,
tubers.
guys, you're never going to see our real faces.
Unless I get to end up going to table at a convention. That's the only way.
That's the only
way.
We'll just be like Dream. We'll have masks of our avatars on paper bags and just put them over our heads.
No, my favorite is Merryweather, and he got his like dog VTuber head made. It's so cute because it's like a big bobblehead. That was great.
That's so good. See, that's what makes me sad I didn't go with the animal head for my avatar, because I'm like, damn, that could have been so good at conventions.
It's okay.
Next time.
You have your little cat sona I did for that one thing that one time.
That's true. That's true. I do have a cat soda.
No.
Yes, so many exciting things coming to Ace Tooney.
I will say a lot of this is like very in the works, you know, in like the sense of it will happen eventually. But yeah, big thing is, guys, that when the React video comes out, the more love that gets, the more likely Dylan is willing to like sit down and watch the show with us to get more React content. This is not a lie, guys.
Honestly, I'm really excited for it.
I'm very excited.
I really liked watching Dungeon Meshi, all three of us.
It was fun doing
I'm
that.
just happy to bring that back in some form.
I'm excited. I'm excited to do this. I think it's going to be really funny because, like I said, the reactions that I had alone by myself were already like, this is pretty hilarious of myself. That's why I wanted to do the little doodles and everything. And, but since I only got, like, so far in and it's been years for Mars.
Mason.
Mouse
There's
is
only
adorable.
3 furries. Wait, why are there only 3?
Us 3 furries? Literally, I'm in like another, like, I'm in a, D&D server. It's Dichotomy Games' server. And literally, we're a bunch of mods. Like I'm one of the moderators. And literally all the moderators that are not, like, part of the official Dichotomy Games, like, the actual team, we're literally all furries.
Oh, that's hilarious. That one's like stars aligned. Holy shit.
Oh, I see. There you go. Super furry in the next leg.
Oh,
there you go.
That's it.
Furries and yeah, the Furies. Oh, Furies.
Oh.
I'm just reading.
I don't know how to read, apparently.
Oh my god. I gotta tell this story because Rage Paint just told. Guys, first thing. Next, on this coming Thursday, next stream,
this Thursday,
Rage Paint Games is joining us to do a little collab art challenge. So there won't be any VTuber Cersei stuff. It will be our little collab. But you guys get to draw on Gartic Phone as well at the same time. And we're making a Pokemon fusion and then turning it into a human, a Jinka. Or as my thing is, like, the colorified version. I've been using that like people fucking know what I'm saying outside of, like, our own community, but I don't care. I literally, like, a colored magpie. Because, like, my player character in our current Pathfinder campaign is a Tengu, which is the equivalent to a D&D Kenku, right? So it's like a corvid humanoid, right? But it's innately an animal-headed character, right? Like, that's how it is. That's the description. But I'm not as big on a person on the animal-headed character stuff, right? It's not my main jam. So I, as will be the thing, colorized them. They don't have a design yet because I have too many things, guys. I do too many art things. Ori needs to be a full-time content creator. No, don't do that. But yeah, so I'm just gonna call it colorized. But then I talked about him in like another thing, and I just said a colorized Tengu magpie, and it's like, yep, I act like anybody knows what that is.
You're too used to talking to me in chat, Ori.
Crow Tengu Man,
We
2025 colorized.
Color.
Tenguner, yeah. A Tenguner. Nah. I was talking with Dichotomy, and because he, like, somebody else he knows sent an image of, like, a character from some sort of, like, Otome game they were playing, and Dichotomy's like, oh my god, this is, like, so Ori-coded, do you not know them? And the person's like, no, I have never, and they're like, oh my god, you have to go check out, like, the thing. But I was like, yeah, this is kind of the vibe of what my player character is going to be, and he's a guy, but the party, not usually Mars, but Dylan and Doug usually always say she because I'm she, right? But they don't get it wrong with other characters, so I don't know what it is about him.
It was even funnier when they called my character Delaney.
Yeah,
a
they were like,
guy.
Delaney's a guy, right? And we're like, oh. Delaney's always been a woman, and Sayer's always been a man, okay? Like, why are we...
mean,
I
Delaney
use my
will go
Phoenix
by
voice,
she,
too!
right? She doesn't
Sayer has my
care,
Phoenix
but-
voice! Why are they calling him a woman? But so, like, he
And
has to be
Delaney's
really
got,
pretty
like,
now.
a faster Lada voice, like not as much Southern
Year
drawl.
3000, everyone will be colorized. Man, I hope.
I hope so.
But yeah, so now Sayer has to be really pretty if the party is gonna canonically mistake him for a woman.
Well, Sayer has to be like, he's got to be Jinshi levels of gorgeous, right? He's got to
Yeah,
walk
but
that line
cursed
of
Jinshi, so I'm more
man,
leaning like a la carte.
androgynous, and woman.
Jinshi's so good. I just gotta say, I love that whenever Jinshi's in drag, he's still just Jinshi, though. Right? Like, they really play up that, like, we did not change his face shape at all.
We just put lipstick
we
on
just
him.
put lipstick and eyeshadow on him.
Just
Like,
lipstick and mascara.
it is
That's
still obviously Jinshi. He's just a very pretty person. And it's like, yeah, this is great. Also,
He is
gotta
a
say,
gorgeous
I
man.
also enjoy that Jinshi is not, like, against that aspect of it. Every time it's involved, he's usually annoyed about something else in relation to that being the plan, right? Like, he's like, God damn it, I
Right,
had to
like-
fucking swim in all this cloth.
Swim
Like, he's
through
not
a
upset about dressing as a
river.
woman. He's like, oh, you made me fucking swim in. Oh, so good.
It's really well done. Guys,
Yes.
we're talking about Apothecary Diaries. You should watch it if you want
Yes,
Imperial China
just
woman
beware-
version Sherlock Holmes.
Beware one moment in season 1, episode 10, near the end, that I absolutely despise, and we don't count that Jinshi. Just like we don't count Joseph
Fine.
Joestar after season 2, we don't count episode 10 Jinshi, okay?
We
He's
don't.
good, he's a good
whole
boy!
different character in that
Every other episode after that, he has never done anything. Yeah, he was always kind of going to be a twink, Allie, and the reason for that is because his whole thing is that he's like a nerd that is the party damage dealer. So when you look at the party, you don't expect my character Sayer to be the fucking like DPS,
Sayer can
right?
hit like a truck.
Yeah, Sayer hits like a truck.
It is insane,
But he
the damage
specifically
he
is
does.
not supposed to look like he can hit like a truck. And so, yeah. See, Allie, I love everything about the episode except this one interaction Jinshi has. Can go die in a hole, and we can kill
Do not
that
take
Jinshi
responsibility for that
and
Jinshi.
Gaussian specifically. Both of them can go fuck off, and I will say they have since fucked off, and both of them have been very good men since then. They've been on their best behavior after that point, so it's fine. Yeah.
I still gotta catch up in Apothecary Diaries.
Exactly,
God damn it.
Pastry Puff. I don't have whatever the last episode for me came out, but you're still ahead. You're still ahead of me. And I haven't seen episode 11 of Sakamoto Days. I've put it off a little bit.
This past Saturday,
I actually had a very busy
that was
weekend.
good. that was a fun time. My
Episode
weekends
10?
have been nothing but reports, so it's been very hard to just watch anime.
It was a skinwalker. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't Jinshi.
It was a changeling. Quick, check his blood.
God, I wish there were me. Oh no.
The part after the aliens, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that, Pastry Puff. 'cause
I'm
I was so
excited.
curious how they were gonna end this season.
I'm excited. It does look on my anime list. It did say Sakamoto Days season 2, so I'm pretty sure it's
Yes.
confirmed. So that's
I'd be
good.
so surprised if we didn't.
It's one of those things where it's like you can't tell how much the loud minority is a minority or not in the backlash of like the animation manga fan shit. And it's just like usually there's more anime watchers than manga fans because usually they make the anime so that you read the manga, right? Like that's like a big thing. So I'm just glad. It also, like, they rolled out a decent amount of merch for it. That's always a good sign, right? So, this is very important, and I want you all to know all of this. In this
and it's
day
true
and
for
age...
Western cartoons as well.
No, this is all cartoons.
So keep
this
that
is
in
also,
mind.
like, YouTube content creators. I'm not saying us because we don't do this as a living, but, like, people who do that stuff as a living, right? People who are artists as a living, people who do YouTube content creation as a living, unless they're like really, really massive and they're getting like millions of views on videos, you know, like a lot, and they're like a small team. The vast majority of all these things, especially animation though, comes from merchandise sales, right? It's because people wanted something very specific, which was not the goal of the anime, Allie. I find that it was very much like they wanted an action anime from a comedy manga that had action in it, right? And so, yeah, a slice of life comedy manga that has action in it. They wanted an action Jujutsu Kaisen level anime, and it was like, that was never gonna happen. That was never gonna happen, because it's just not big enough, right? You know what I'm saying? Jujutsu Kaisen was already a big manga before it became an anime. So they knew that they could put, like, a level into it, that it would be, like, well-received, right? Versus, like... The
it's
point of Sakamoto
who
Days
doesn't really care if they push their animators to the brink.
But
now,
Sakamoto Days is
Sakamoto
definitely
Days was like didn't have those issues. They probably did.
All
but
animation does, unfortunately, or
sadly,
non-indie
the norm
related
of the
does
industry.
definitely for corporations. But back to what I was saying.
But people.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well,
No, you can finish.
it's one of those things where, like, it's like you said, where the manga was basically a comedy, but it had really well choreographed action scenes, really nicely drawn ones, and people were hoping to see that carried over into the anime itself. I still think we got that. I don't watch any of those fight scenes and think to myself, wow, that's terrible. I've seen bad choreographed fight scenes.
Okay. So basically,
This
the
was
point
not
of my
badly
thing is
choreographed,
that
and it was not badly animated.
in animation, especially indie animation and just general content creation, the vast majority of their profit comes from merchandise sales. So if you're looking for a specific, like, physical thing sells, right? Like, so, like, the manga or whatever. So if you're looking to support someone specifically, like, I'm not trying to say us, we don't have, like, anything to buy. I'm just saying in general, right? Like, because I watched this whole thing.
This year
I watched this whole thing about, like the truth behind, like, indie animation funding and all this sort of stuff. And it, like, those Kickstarters help, but, like, they are not the main thing. It is like the reason that Hell of a Boss keeps going is because the merch sells well, right? I think it was a Lackadaisy, the merch sells well. Same with, like, yeah, and what's the other one? Like, The Amazing Digital Circus, Murder Drones, all that sort of stuff, right? It is the merch selling it. And that's why I'm always pissed at Western cartoons, because they don't fucking sell enough merch, okay? They don't do merch like anime does, and it's really upsetting, because, like, I would fucking...
Very interesting you mentioned this, Ori, because I saw two things the other day that were very fascinating to me.
Yeah, the merch, exactly,
One,
struck.
So, you guys know the movie Dog Man came out. It's a DreamWorks movie. It's based off the comic book series. So my dad and I went to McDonald's the other day. We were running errands. We need to grab a quick bite to eat. We're in the drive-thru lane. And I'm looking at the menu, and I noticed with the Happy Meal, they're advertising mystery toys. They're not advertising, oh, here's the Dog Man toys, like they would have for, like, say, Shrek or Madagascar or one of those. So I'm like, huh, okay. McDonald's doesn't have a deal with DreamWorks to promote Dog Man. Interesting. I wonder if they're at Burger King instead. Later that night, I was watching YouTube and a commercial came up promoting Dog Man toys in stores, not affiliated with a fast food chain. So it looks like they actually did make figures.
Well, that's good.
And I was like, huh, that's an interesting change.
Yeah, Disney too, right? Look at the big ones. Disney has a ton of merch. Pokemon has a ton of merch, right? That's what happens, right? So all my point is that if you're like, I want to support a creator, buy a merch of theirs, you know what I'm saying? That's what to do. And I'm upset that Western animation never has enough merch for, like, the adults that have money. Because there's a problem, right? If you have an audience that can't buy your merchandise, you know, that just, it's a cycle, right? So when Western cartoons promote solely to children, and then children don't have their own money to buy, and they don't want necessarily like a figure you put on a shelf, it's like, come on.
Well, that's the problem with animation in the West as a whole. It's seen as a thing for kids. It's not respected as an adult medium. Now I'm starting to see more of a push towards that, which shows like Invincible, Vox Machina.
Yeah.
Definitely South Park and Simpsons paved the way, but we're still not seeing like any Vox Machina merch.
That's what I'm saying. Where's my Vox Machina merch? Yes, and like and subscribe. Like and subscribe helps, and that's free. And also your watch
Very
time,
important.
guys. That's crazy helpful as well. I just don't know if I want
It's
this
insanely helpful. You have no idea.
visible or not. But
I love that you gave him the Edward Elric Baines and then still the droopy Ahoge in the center.
yeah,
great.
he
Love
has
it.
both. It's to mimic the like shape of the badger face. You can see it. He has the two ahoge, he has the side things, right? So it's to give these layers of
The shape language
hair.
really carries through.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You don't like, but you do subscribe. Well, thank you, Estra. Whatever you can do.
We appreciate it. Which possibly I don't think so, Mason. The last one I see from you is of Don. I'm not on YouTube, so let me check a sec.
Oh, I haven't pulled up YouTube tonight.
I can check. Can we see my thing, please? Yes. Here we are.
Doc, they're not reading your mind. They're reading everything that you click on and enter into search bars.
I don't. Oh, I see it, Mason. Yes, it came through now.
Did it get?
Yeah, it was just late.
there
It was
it
just
is.
the way, whatever, I see it now. Outcast of Gypsy Pop made it fucking high. My fucking name is Hotson. Fuck. We got there. Yes. I don't hate
We
Vivzy
got
Pop
there
as much as so
eventually.
many people do.
I don't understand the Vizzy Pop hate,
I don't
honestly.
find it to be so
I feel like
don't know.
she's an easy target because she started small and then she got big.
I think it's
and
mostly jealousy.
People are envious.
I think it's
I
mostly
think it's
jealousy.
envy.
Like, I guess I'm also relatively willing to forgive a fair amount of stuff when it comes to content creation, because being on the side of the content creator, I know what the fuck you gotta do, right? Like, I know the level of effort, and I know she has, like, a team and everything, but, like, geez. Different things compared to the stuff we were talking about? Wait. Am I
Different
missing?
things.
You're
Can
just
you
worried about the
define,
algorithm
describe, elaborate.
reading your data. They read your mind if it's the likes. What did I said something the other day, and then literally Amazon is like, so you want to buy that, right? And it was like, yeah, but not now. Not right now. Like, I was talking about it because I ain't buying it right now. Never consumed VisiPop media, Penguin. I like Has Been Hotel. I also, but, like, it's very important that you like musical cartoons and musicals. And you're not...
It ain't for everybody.
And what's wild is
don't
I
like
can...
musicals.
I'm okay with the way that, like, Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss present themselves more than I can deal with something like Invincible or The Boys in like gore style, right? Like Invincible, levels of like gore and violence is like a lot, where I guess Has Been Hotel
world.
Yeah, and Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss do it very cartoonishly. Right, if that makes sense. Like Tom and Jerry style violence, where it's like, whereas this is not real at all.
Tries to make it as
it's like, wow, as possible, this is an animation, and they're stylized, but this is rough to get through. A lot of things hate on her style
because they want it to hit hard. They want it to be relatable as something you would recognize as, oh shit, this could be possible in the right circumstances. It just makes them hit harder than Pastry Puff. Whereas in Hell of a Boss, it's like you said, if Tom and Jerry were allowed to have blood in it, basically.
Yeah, it would definitely have a different vibe. Drama.
I'm curious, Penguin, what bad horror movies did you watch?
Even if you censor curses with the... Oh, thank you for releasing it then, Pastry Puff. Thank you.
Ah, thank you.
No, I know you don't hate her, Mason. They do swear a lot. There is no question about it. I feel like people putting it on the, like, okay, I don't see the same kind of hate with cursing for Rick and Morty that you see for VivziePop. And I feel like they don't curse very differently in amount. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like...
It feels like the same level.
Like, they curse a lot.
or even, like, compare it to something like South Park, which people have loved for seasons upon seasons.
That I'm not sure about in Strong. I'm mostly talking about... There's, like, a lot of, like, Hell of a Boss hate. And I feel like a lot of it is just, like... So you don't like it? Move on. I feel like there's a lot of, like... There's a difference between you have critique and I don't like show and I'm gonna make a whole thing making a reason I don't like the show for the internet. That's the problem, right? You cannot like something and you can talk about not liking something and just not like it.
Knows we certainly
but
do.
You shouldn't talk about not liking something because you just don't like it and then try to make a reason. Does that make sense? I don't say I won't watch One Piece because and then go into some rant I've made up about how like the storyline is bad or something because that's not the reason and who the fuck cares? I don't like the art style. I can be petty about it. Okay? Like I am allowed
like I have a reason and it's
to be petty, you know?
No, I think that makes sense because
I'm sorry, Miss.
I see reviewers sometimes pull like this deep commentary about like, oh, this is why it's not good. This is this and that, and it's like, no, I don't think that's the real reason you dislike it. It seems like a disingenuous argument.
Hard-M fans are assholes. I guess. Yeah, it's just like, it's the making yourself have to have a reason for it. Same with liking stuff, too. You can just like shit. I like Fairy Tail. I know it's bad. It is bad. I watch it, and sometimes and I sit there, and I think it's bad. But I have an enjoyable enough time watching it that I'll say, yeah, I do like Fairy Tail. I'm a Fairy Tail fan. It has definitely shaped my life. Okay, what was another one? There was something, I was in a Discord server, and it was like, what's your guilty pleasure movie to watch or something? I, to an extent, enjoy the movie Strange Magic. It is specifically not a good movie. It is a Lucasfilm movie.
in all honesty.
It's a Lucasfilm. See, I used to enjoy the B movie. I will say nowadays when I watch it, I am like, this is a lot. However, there is Kronk in it, and he's actually right.
As hell. It's
But
stupid as hell.
it is stupid. But people rag on it for being like a jukebox musical. Yes, the animation has Uncanny Valley to it. It's totally there. However, I think that Roland is funny. I enjoy the actual romance between the main character and the main villain. I think it's cute. I think their little like break in the middle before they get together makes sense. And I like jukebox musicals, okay? I like it. I like having a song that comes in a movie that I can already know. If it fits, it fits. Why does it have to be a problem? Fairy's getting a divorce. They don't actually get married. They don't actually get married. She leaves him at the altar, basically. They're gonna get married. And then she finds him cheating on her. And so she turns goth. Rebel, like, the whole thing. Which, honestly, she fucking slays. Just saying, that was her aesthetic all along. I don't know, she's a badass. Also, I like her being a badass, okay? You know, whatever. But the point is I don't need to explain why strange magic is actually good, right? You know, like, I don't need to sit here and be like, no, the reasons why it's actually a good movie, I can acknowledge it's not a good movie. Disney on Ice? I have never seen a Disney on Ice, ever. It's
I've only seen it in clips. I cannot say I've seen one. Exactly, Estrock. As long as it's not expressly hateful, like what you like.
Yeah, exactly,
or harmful
Mason.
to others.
Dragon Ball. You love it. It doesn't have to be deep. And I think that's something that, like, the internet has sort of lost a lot. Because there is so much analysis, and I like the analysis. Don't get me wrong. I totally love that. I loved being part of the analysis of like Gravity Falls and all this sort of stuff. I love hearing Pastry Puff's analogies of stuff, but you don't have to have that. You know,
towards more like analysis driven.
Exactly, Allie. It's a fun romp.
Views.
I didn't need Sunny, if I'm being honest. Don't like Sunny and the sister. They could have stayed out of it. But I like Marianne, her thing with Roland. Roland's funny. Roland's like a watered down version of fucking... I'm blanking on his name from Futurama. What's the captain guy from Futurama?
Oh shit, what is
Brannigan,
his name?
Zap Brannigan. He's like a child's version of Zap Brannigan. Okay, which I find hilarious, because Zap Brannigan's hilarious. Okay. And, you know, and it's fun.
People do indeed love making theories.
But see, I think that it is perfectly fine. I think there's a difference between going out of your way to find meaning in something that might have not had meaning there in the first place, and going out of your way to be upset that something doesn't have meaning, right? Does that make sense? There's a difference between doing, like, I have the fun headcanon about the Rugrats being, like, this whole thing in, like, her head. Fun is, you know, a relative term. But, like, the interesting headcanon of it being all in Angelica's head or whatever, right? The deeper meaning behind the thing. I feel like vast majority of people, obviously that's not what it was about, right? But then that's a fine thing to have. But to instead then have something along the lines of, I'm upset that the Rugrats doesn't have a deeper meaning. It's flat. It's just a story about babies. That's ridiculous, right?
I think
you see the difference?
Just have to learn to accept. Like, this is one I hear a lot, is that you can't be upset with the thing you didn't get, right? Does that make sense? Like, yeah. I'm trying to think how it was phrased. Like, don't be upset with the movie you didn't get. Be upset with the movie you got, or something like that.
Yeah,
like, focus on what it is, not what it could have been.
I feel like it's okay to say what it... See, it's like a hard bit to have. Because I think,
Right, like take the Sakamoto example. Is that... people are upset that it doesn't have god-tier Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen levels of animation. Okay, but what you got is still a good story about found family, an intriguing mystery of who set the bounty on Sakamoto,
Okay.
and
I
decent
see.
fight scenes that are engaging and
Ooh.
well done
Very
and
cool pastry
creative.
puff. Dylan and I still have to finish season 3 of Vox
Oh,
Machina.
that's nice.
But very cool. I'm excited for Mighty Nine. I like Jester.
I gotta be honest.
And I know Molly Mock's
stopped
gonna have a
after they
time.
had sex.
In Vox Machina. And
Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like
not
always
intentionally.
expected that to
Not
happen. We've
Well,
only seen the first
I have
episode.
to clarify. I have to clarify, not intentionally. It just happened to work
We
out that way, where
paused
that
it,
happened to be
and
the
that was
last
it.
episode I saw.
Yeah, Penguin. I think the main point is how negative you're being about it. You know,
But it's
I
also
feel like it's just
Like, again, I take the Sakamoto example. Do you
it's
find
the
that it not
compliment
having the high levels
sandwich.
of animation is a flaw?
Yeah.
Does that make
that's
it a
the
weaker
that's the thing.
media?
I think
Because
you
I don't see
need
it as a flaw.
the
I
compliment
see it as
sandwich.
a nitpick.
I think we need to continue with the compliment sandwich. Let's say I read the Sakamoto Days
Vox
manga.
Machina is
Okay?
worth watching, Allie.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's fun. It's a good time.
It's very worth
It's
watching.
very, very funny. I like them. Favorite characters are definitely Vax and Percy. Love my boys. But and Gilmore.
Vax
I
is
love
great.
Gilmore.
Love him.
I love Gilmore. But they're all great. They're all great. They all have good times.
Scanlan becomes interesting as the seasons
Oh
go
yeah,
on.
yeah. No. He's definitely
I'm really starting to like his
he's
character
definitely
more.
quintessential bard, but he has substance. Like he's not like a nothing burger, you know? That's why when people are like, oh, we hate it's like, okay, but he has his thing. Yes.
He's got the depth.
He's got the depth. And that's why I still like Scanlan. And that's why I still like Yasker. Yasker has depth, even though he's sort of like a little bit of a horny bard at the beginning. But, like, that's not all they are. You can be a horny bard with depth. Just don't be a horny bard with no depth.
What's
It's just
interesting,
unfun.
when you take these archetypes and then add to them, that's what creates intrigue. That's what creates character depth.
I would say if you're debating bar, Estrak, put it in bar. Yeah, it's a little spicy. I would say put it in bar. That's like the one exception. I do want to keep a little bit in there. Oh my
We're trying to
God.
be good Discord mods.
Look at oh my lord.
Things were drawn?
Yes, Allie drew Kai
Oh,
and
I'll
his
go
like
see.
other form, which is always so fucking epic. I love the like I don't know what you call
Allie?
it. His monster form is so good. Yeah, Allie in Sketchbook. Oh,
Friggin' wow.
love him. I love the contrast too, where he's like, "Hi," and then the monster's like, ah.
Rawr. Inside
well,
you,
I
there
see
are two
Captain America.
wolves.
Inside you, there are two wolves.
One a happy-go-lucky little boy, the other
Talk
a
about what you
monster.
have thing. I see.
Let's see what's in the bar.
Yeah, exactly, Penguin. And that's what I think
Ah.
the problem is. Horny on its own, not a good character trait. But when it's horny with like explanation
Don't
or depth or reasoning, like it just
don't be Minetta.
yes, don't be Minetta.
Actually, it's interesting that came to mind, because when you say, like, yes, a character can have the horny, just not only be horny. There was someone who did an AU of Minetta where, as he gets older, he's trying to get rid of his
Persona.
creeper persona, the way he's perceived. But people keep doubting him as a hero because that's all he portrayed himself as. That's all they remember him as, even though he's trying to turn over a new leaf. It was really interesting. I'm very sad that the rest of the story is on Patreon, because I was like, I got a couple of these for free, and man, now I'm intrigued. But
don't be great, man.
Am I that intrigued?
Yep. I
But that's
see.
to say,
Very
like, yes,
spicy,
have
Mason.
those layers of depths. It makes it
Yeah,
interesting.
don't be Dr. Hottie. Horrible. Sal
Yeah,
is
no. Dr.
slightly
Hottie's
better, but
literal
he's
Oni
still
trait
not
is
great
horny.
either. Sal's slightly better because he's not only horsey, he's horny, he's also greasy, but it's still too much. And that's why we don't like Larry, because Larry becomes only horny.
Well, Larry got dumbed down to that, and
Yeah.
that annoys me. But
Don't go too in depth.
I won't go too in depth. But my biggest problem with Larry is that any role he takes in the future games past the stuff we like literally could have been done by an NPC character or a one-off character. There is nothing he does that stands out as a solely Larry thing to do that another character couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think writing-wise, that's a little bit of a problem because you don't
definitely
want to
a few
end
of
up in a
them are,
scenario
yeah.
where
Master
you're like,
Roshi,
okay, any character could stand in at this point. As a writer, you do not want that because you want a reason for your character to be there. In real life, it's different. In real life, it doesn't matter why people show up when they show up. But in writing, it does. If people show up, they gotta be there for a reason. And I don't see the reason, like, for Larry being in certain positions in later games as, wow, we really need to bring him back because he had so much to this scene. Or he had so much to this particular role he was given. That's one of my biggest problems with Larry. Dialogue, yes, the dialogue burns, Allie. I had to read those lines.
Yes, it's so sad.
I had to read those. It burns. Trying to think of characters that are good with this, like a horny character with other things. But I mean, we definitely have Scanlan as one.
Yes, Scanlan is good.
See, this is the problem because having a horny character, I don't watch a whole lot of things like that, so it's hard for me to pull examples.
Yeah, exactly.
That actually work.
I'm really... I mean, like...
I'm really blanking. Sorry, guys. I don't really watch harems or hentais. Not my scene.
I am not up to date with Hell of a Boss, but I find Blitz and Stolas to be okay. I have not seen Sinmas or, like, anything past, like, I think...
Oh, you're gonna
the
have a time.
makeup with Fizzaroli and Blitz, like where they have the and Fizzaroli has his like, look at me, look at this, look at that, look at that. I don't think I've watched past that episode. What's the difference? Okay, it's the greasiness, Allie. I think it's really the greasiness. Flirty is, I want to actually, like, we could actually have a relationship. Whether or not that's the intention, I'm not coming on to you in a nice tits, sweet cheeks. That's horny, right? Flirty is like, oh, such a strong man. Oh, you're so strong. Can you help me? Like that, there's like, you see the difference? One is like, why are we not already banging? I'm going to creep on you. I am a creeper. You are uncomfortable. Flirty is more like
on the frequency of how often it happens as
flirty
well.
is more like definitely much more complimentary with sexual undertones, right? Does that make sense? Horny is we are uncomfortable. This is too far. All you think about is sex. And flirty is riz, right? Flirty is like I'm
flirty
using
is
my
writer. Flirty is Eugene Fitzherbert.
Yeah, Eugene Fitzherbert. Flirty, not horny.
That's the flirty man.
Yeah, looking couch.
And we stand that man because oh my god.
Oh my god, and he's such guys. If you have not seen the Tangled the series, please
watch it. Ellie! If you like musicals, watch Tangled the series.
See, and that's amazing, and that reminds me perfectly. That's when you have like teenage characters that are being a little greasy about it, as long as that's not their whole thing. Fucking teenage hormones are a thing, right? Like, you could do it well. I think Turning Red, right? we have her drawing like the one guy in her notebook all the time.
The fan
Like,
art.
That's a little like she's definitely feeling some things. She's definitely going through something.
But I think with teenage characters, it's easier to have that, and I don't want to call it excuse, but it's easier to have that reasoning of they're working through what they're feeling. Because
But they're also,
an easy
but
outlet
again,
to discover that kind of
but
thing.
again, that's not all they are, unless the point of the story is that being all they are and overcoming that, right? Like, unless it's it's still not good because we still don't like those people, right? If you think back or think now, I don't know how old all of you are. I think you're slightly in high school or older than that, so think back to middle school. You think back to middle school, you think about that kid. It doesn't matter what gender, because I gotta tell you, I have female friends who were way too much. I just gotta say, but both sides of the coin, you could think about that person that was too obvious about it, right? Because it's one thing when you're like with your friends in your circle and they're like, oh, I think Jordan is so crazy. I don't know why I picked that name. That was a bad name to pick, but
That was a bad name to pick. What were you thinking?
I don't know, but I don't know why Jeremy, and whatever, and you're like at the sleepover or whatever, and it's like, Jeremy, oh, I think about him and when he bites the pencil eraser, whatever, that's a different story than like the person who you're in class with and they're obviously like watching Jeremy bite the pencil eraser.
Right, I was like, oh,
right,
have you seen
Ellie?
the way
It was
he
very
rips
good.
the
Yes, Pastry
magazines
Puff.
when we were
Very
making
good.
the collage in art class? Ooh. Oh, like, really? That's what gets... Okay.
See, that's also important, Mason. And see, that's the other thing, Mason. That's the other thing. It depends on, are you portraying this as this is what the character is thinking, writing in their diary, their private thoughts, or their very close friend thoughts, or are these the things that they are acting on, doing it out loud, right? In Turning Red, she is alone under her bed, just drawing the pictures. She's figuring herself out. It's very private. She's not sharing with anybody, right? It's her own thing. She doesn't go then to school and be doubly weird about it. See, there's being awkward. You can be awkward. There can be an awkward level, but there's not creeper level now. That's still not good. It's still bad. Yeah, can Jeremy stop biting his pencil? We're talking. It works for Comic Corner. We're talking about characterization. We're talking about how to do it, how to come across.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think. I would say,
and it's working well because I've gotten 3 panels of the comic done. Keep it going, guys. This is
in
good
Invincible,
fuel.
he is a college student, older teen, right? He has a girlfriend. They have a time. But that's not all he thinks about all the time, forever, right? It's
the
characters.
Trauma is his character trait.
Yeah, it's the characters. See, okay, I'm gonna go back to Scanlan, because Scanlan is just very easy to talk about. When he does his magic and stuff, he certainly goes into, the vulgar stuff. He fucking, thrusts to do some of his magic. He's very vulgar about it. And that could be a lot, and he's very horny about it. He's constantly trying to, get with Pike. He's getting with, other people, whatever. But then you have these when there are serious moments, he can be serious, okay? Or he still understands the assignment while being goofy. You know what I'm saying?
It's a balance. It's a balance because you have those moments of horniness, essentially, and those are supposed to be the comedic moments. If that was all that was happening,
if Ellie and Melvin are friends,
work with the
we're all
group
good,
because
maybe.
he'd just be a throwaway character.
Nutritious pencil eraser.
Oh no.
Okay. I know another good one.
I did have a friend who ate a pencil.
Yes,
Ooh,
Don.
And how
Don
it
is a
its
good
dirty
one.
humor.
Don Da Don is also a good one.
There are so many innuendos you could make about Don Da Don.
Don Da
Like,
Don is a very good
literally
one.
in one of the episodes, my first thought was, okay, she's riding Okaroon. Like, there is no mistaking that she is riding Okaroon.
But what's great about that is that they, even though they are teenagers, right? And while we don't explicitly get to that point of it, they obviously, think about things, okay? And they're
Got the
awkward
feelings.
and whatever. They have feelings for each other, all this sort of stuff. But when they are in a life or death situation, fuck, it all goes like the furthest thing from their mind, as it should be. You know what I'm saying? They are literally in a life or death situation. They're not focused on the whole thing, right? We have the little moment of embarrassment or whatever, but like it gets over that because we're fucking going to die otherwise, as it should be. A bad characterization of that would be still goofing off about it to the extent that it's a detriment to what is happening, right? To the extent that why are you so focused on this while you are literally about to die, right?
Yeah.
Hello, Cosmo.
That would be like, oh, hello, Cosmo.
Are we getting a raid? I don't know. Seems late.
I don't think it's a raid.
I don't think it's a raid. I don't guess what else. Yep. Turbo Granny stuff? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No,
exactly,
Penguin.
Like, for example,
An AU for what, Cosmo?
I could totally, because of his characterization, I could totally
yes,
see
it kills
him
me, the fan service
as a character trying to look up girl skirts during a fight scene. Because that is who the writers have established him to be. I cannot see him taking a scenario seriously.
Yeah.
Now, maybe this isn't true, but that is what the writer set him up to be.
Yeah,
is just comedic relief in this very specific form.
But there's also, you can, as Scanlan does, be comedic and still not a detriment. Right? Yeah, and that's what Penguin's saying.
Therein lies
if
the
it's
balance.
usually to leave not a mood whiplash, right? They're having their time, and Scanlan makes the Big B's hand a middle finger. It's funny, but it still accomplishes the task that they needed to do. Well, you know what I'm saying?
And what it also does from an audience standpoint is if the character is comfortable enough to have that moment of levity, the audience is comfortable enough to follow. I was actually watching a movie the other day, and there was a fight scene going on. And during this initial fight scene between these two rival groups, there was fun, goofy music playing. That kind of cues the audience in to think, oh, okay, this is a goofy moment. This is a fun moment. It's light. There's levity. We're not taking this seriously. That exact same scenario happens later again in the movie, but this time there's more intense music under the backing track. That changes the tone. That changes it from, oh, wait, this used to be light and fun. Now it's intense. Now there's some stakes on it. The same thing in the situation Ori described, because Scanlan's like giving the middle finger with his magic, that cues the audience into, oh, okay, they're gonna win this fight. This is a moment of comfort, like we know we're in the clear. So it kind of helps you allow yourself to enjoy that moment, because now it's no longer a tense situation. They've won the battle, Scanlan made the joke, now you as the audience can breathe.
Yes, Penguin, yes. Yeah, it depends on a lot of type of AU, Cosmo. We do a lot of AUs for our comic, and they do vary depending on what vibe it is.
What kind of AU you're working on, Cosmo?
Exactly. Is it for
My
OCs?
hand is starting to hurt.
Is it
I
for
kind of need
another thing?
a break from drawing.
Another content?
Yes. Oh God, that CH line.
Mason, I think you can do it fine, and I think that's. I think it's all about the focus. I think all of it is about the focus of and how you portray it. You know, if we're not having it, I'm trying to think of exactly how to word what my brain is thinking. The only time that I think people run into problems, because the people who write children's media are 90% of the time adults. But you have to draw on the fact that you thinking about it as like a child, as like the person of that age, and not like looking down on it, if that makes sense. And I think that, you know, there's always going to be people who are going to be, you know, look at it with a bad light. But I think just like you can draw feet, like a character with bare feet, and not be into that, but you can also definitely see something where no, the person's into that, right? Like the artist is into that. You can see
how it's
the difference,
presented,
right?
like,
Yeah.
Ori, when you draw feet, the camera, even though we have panels featuring feet essentially, and I've just colored a whole bunch of them, the focus is not the feet.
The focus is the
on
movement
action.
that
It's
the
the
feet are
crouching,
showing.
it's the jumping, it's illustrating like what the colors are capable of with these different features and how that allows them to thrive on the island and the ship. Whereas, say someone is into that, and you know what, if you are, more power to you, as long as they're not hurting anybody, do whatever the hell you want. But you can tell. Or you have watched Fairy Tale.
Yeah.
You can tell when they're into feet. The camera goes way in. The shine, the shadows, the highlights,
the angle.
It all clues you in.
You know what's a really good
happening.
example? A really good example, I think, is the bath scene in Dungeon Meshi. Both the manga and the anime. It does not feel like fan service. Because even if you like women, that's not the problem. The idea is that it doesn't feel like fan service. It feels like a
It feels
bath
like an organic
scene.
moment.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like we're having a okay, that's what I want to say. It doesn't feel like we're at a bathhouse because we want to see the characters naked. It feels like we're at a bathhouse because the having to get blood off of a character is important to what has happened in the story.
Organic, natural thing that would happen next. So slight spoilers for Sakamoto Days, just for a little plot point that happens in episode 10. I don't know if you want to throw the thing up there, Ori. Me when women
spoilers,
too, Allie. Me when women as well.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I was reading Discord a second. I know what we're talking about now.
No worries. So, in episode 10, very similarly to Dungeon Meshi, I got so scared when they announced they were going to the bathhouse. Because Gurren Lagann has trained me to be nervous around the bathhouse episode. And I was very pleased to discover that it was not going to be the stereotypical anime bathhouse scenario. It was going to be a natural progression of the story. They had just gotten out of a long fight. Shin was feeling really sore and very tired and stressed. Lou was expressing the same. Sakamoto, wanting to take care of them, was like, hey, why don't we go to the bathhouse? Like, let's relax for the day. We deserve it. And he brings the family along with him. It's treated as a family outing, and literally no part of it is fetishized or sexualized or any of it. You have Shin taking off his shirt, you have Sakamoto undressing, but it's kept as, this is just what they're doing for the day. This is a regular activity, there's no fan service happening here, there's nothing going on here. It's just a nice, casual moment. And God, did I respect that episode for doing that. Because, man, I got scared. Gurren Lagann has trained me to be afraid of the bathhouse. Because in Gurren Lagann, the whole thing was
see, that's a
trying to
different
sneak a peek at Yoko.
Vibe, though, Allie, right? That's a different vibe than when you see other animes with bath scenes. That it's like, this is a moment between... In Dungeon Meshi, this is a moment between these two characters, which we ship because they're definitely gay. Come on, I mean, look at them. Look at the bath scene, right? But it feels like they're gay because they love each other, and it doesn't feel like they're gay because the person making the thing is, like, into the lesbian porn, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference. And I feel like it's hard to articulate necessarily, but I feel like you as
really
a
is.
person will innately do it if it's not your thing and you're a normal person. And I also think that even if something is your thing, you could be pretty chill about it. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot more innate than people think. And I feel like the main problem is that the people, when you have issues, that's the point. And when you're focusing on that not being the point, you're going to innately have it not be the point. I think Dun Da Dun is a very good example. When your focus is not to have it be fan service, right? You are specifically telling a story, and then everything else is just in relation to the story. It's very easy to make it not fan servicey versus you need to intention to make it fan servicey.
So well. Because even though they
literally,
had scenes
Penguin,
that could have
literally
very easily turned fan servicey, they never went that route. And you know why? Because they kept the camera where it needed to be. They put the focus on the highlight of the scene, and they never flew too close to the sun. I was so freaking impressed with that show.
Really good example of, like, makes sense nudity that has literally solely story purposes and is not fan service at all. I love how the artist who does the comics for the Adventure Zone Bureau of Balance arc, there's a part where one of the main characters, Magnus, is completely naked and he is fighting enemies, and it is done so beautifully because it makes sense why he's naked. He's not naked for no reason, and every moment is beautifully done where it is not like, this is fan service, we just wanted to see Magnus naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
but again, pay attention to where the camera is. It's not focused on his abs. It's not focused on his butt or anything. It's focused on the whole picture and the enemy he's facing.
I think I'm doing, now maybe I'm wrong, I think I'm doing a good job with Outcast right now. They are in more various states of undress right now because it's hot. They've been working hard, right? So Aster has no shirt on. Sinet's shirt is open, right? Ferrex is in his tank top and whatever. And while they can look good, you can admire them because they look good and they're, good-looking characters. I don't find that I am... Good. Yeah, it's very difficult for me. I don't find that is... the way that the panelings are is not showing off that they are in states of undress, right? Because I'm not focusing on that. That's a secondary thing. When I'm going into the panels, I'm focusing on, okay, Sinet is turning the wheel, so the boat is moving fast, so the wind is blowing, and I put him in a pose first, and then the fact that his shirt is open is the last thing on top, right? I'm not focusing on, ooh, how can I make the shirt open look good, right? You see what I'm saying? It's, how would he be doing this thing? Then it's also, the shirt is open as, like, a secondary
character
thing.
As well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Balance is tricky, but it can be struck.
It's done very well. Viewers can make it fan servicey on their own.
Viewers will do whatever they want. That is something you just have to accept as a content creator, that people will take your creations and do things with them.
It's very...
And you just gotta be like, okay.
I would say study... Okay, this is actually really good in my opinion. I really love Mission Impossible. The Mission Impossible franchise is probably my favorite, like, action film franchise. I really enjoy it. Because it's literally spy epic action plus the power of friendship. Because, like, yeah, it's shown in the live action spy movie. But, point being, I'm sitting here and I can't think of a moment of fan service in Mission Impossible. Now, there's a lot of Mission Impossible movies, but I'm trying really hard to think of, like, a specific moment of fan service that, like, felt like this is fan servicey and there wasn't a reason for this. Versus, you go and you watch Marvel movies, and I'm talking the men ones, right? I'm talking Thor, I'm talking Captain America, right? There are shots that are very
Oh,
much
the balance
obviously
friendship and
this
guy
character
bot.
is shirtless and in an angle because they want you to see how ripped he is. I'm thinking specifically, I think it's...
Well, that's because Marvel hired hot actors and they know they hired hot actors.
Okay, you know some good ones? Some good moments that are obviously fan servicey and not needed? In Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Star-Lord is being hosed down because he's going to prison. The fucking framing of that shot when he is heaving because he has basically been waterboarded, whatever the fuck that is, that's fan service. That did not need to be like that, okay? That didn't... He should have been kind of fucking ugly. You were just waterboarded. Like, it's like the character that's like, I'm in the
"Ooh,
apocalypse.
Water hot.
Yeah, he's just like slightly misted and he's heaving, right? And so it's like, this is not how you would look when this happens. This is obviously fan service. It's very much like the woman character who's in the apocalypse but has perfect makeup and like lashes and like shit like that,
Oh, yeah.
right? And has
Shaved
like
legs, the whole 9
yeah,
yards.
that sort of thing, like lipstick and whatever. That's the sort of vibe you get, right? There's one with Thor. I think it's actually one of the
Rock, is it?
Avengers movies, but there's a Thor and he's in like a pool of water to see the future. I think it's Ultron, and he's in like a pool and
You're
he
right.
like does the fucking mermaid surface out of the water. It's like you were drowning, my guy. Like, why? Why are we doing this? You know,
Why are
I
we
feel like
mermaids
you could
swimming?
very much see where it's like, this was put because we need to show this character shirtless, and not this character should be shirtless because it makes sense, you know? Or like, when you have, like, because you can have like a female character go to a fancy gathering and dress nice. Okay, I think a good one, Pepper Potts, goes to that like gala without Tony Stark in, I think it's the first one. Yeah, in the first Iron Man.
Yeah, that
and
would
she's
be the
wearing
first
the like
movie.
backless dress. I don't feel that's overdone, and it doesn't show her in a way where like this is the reason we are having this scene, because that's not the reason they're having this scene. They're showing how much of a dick Tony Stark is in that scene.
It's like, that's the purpose of the scene.
Yeah. Day is stop being hot. You want to see ugly people? I want to see people who can look ugly if they like a drenched rat. Okay? If you are a person and you have been waterboarded, you should not look good. Or not like you just came out of the sauna. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should look like you were like,
you should
obviously
look and match the scenario you've just been
people
through.
who are like just built as aesthetically handsome or pretty are going to be, in general, aesthetically handsome or pretty, even in more unflattering scenarios. But there's a level when it's like, I'm a manicured blah, 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 and I have just woken up out of bed, right? It's like when you see those people who are like that, I woke up this way, and they obviously didn't. You can still be, like, pretty and wake up okay.
Without a full
you
face
know?
of makeup.
Yeah. If you can't
Yeah,
surface
exactly,
aesthetically, you might
Penguin.
not surface at all. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Penguin. Versus I'm over here and it's like, I'm ready to draw Everett like a dumpster child at one point. He will be... Also, I'm drawing Axus very pretty right now. He's not gonna look this together when I draw
in his
him.
introduction, he's not going to look like this.
I do have to make him a lot less cleaned up. Okay, I did like the honey. They have the little fangs, and they stick out. So I am gonna make his stick out a little bit. But he has to be really, really fuzzy. I want him to be very fuzzy. He needs to be built like Gumshoe. Oh, sorry.
Thank you,
You gotta
Allie.
tell me when it was done. Thank you, Allie. That was a big side tangent. I'm not upset about it, but that was a big side tangent.
Can't say that I have, Cosmo. At least not off the top of my head.
No, I have not. We are. It's all the scruff. He's gonna be very scruffy.
Gotta have that scruff.
And see, we gotta give him a little chest floof. Very important. Cause look at this guy with his chest floof.
He's gotta have it. It is
Gotta have
crucial.
Gotta
Yes, that was a
have
very
this.
lovely tangent.
It was a great tangent.
I like
went
when we
around
get
it a
into
lot.
those.
Well, it's when you get passionate about something.
Oh, yes. And we certainly have thoughts about how people are portrayed in the media.
I will say, also especially as ace people, when we can tell that it's fan service, you've gone too far.
Exactly. That's when you know. Always check with your local ace
I want him to be built
before
like
you put
Gumshoe.
something fan servicey in your story.
That's another reason to have beta readers. And, you know, beta reader is a beta reader. Beta reader is a very, you know, high profile sounding term, but it's literally if you get one other person to read it,
to read over your story for
Mars
you.
and I are not perfect beta readers because we do know the whole story, you know, as a whole thing, but we do manage to, you know, if there was something sus for some reason. Yeah, thoughts. Exactly, Penguin, exactly. No, he's a secret agent. I like him coming along, though. I don't remember this guy's name, Allie, but I like him coming along.
Oh, let's see. More sketchbook.
I will say, he gives me, like, fan art present Mike vibes, which are good vibes. I like him. He's gonna be a cool dude.
I really like the suit and everything that's going on there.
It's a vest. I see all the
design-wise.
All the reference stuff. I like the vest.
Ooh, new Ace Attorney trivia.
Yes, yes.
I do not know the answer to this one. And I do not have a good enough guess. I'm bailing. I'm keeping my
If you read it, will be alpha readers? Yeah. We're both alpha readers. He doesn't have a name right now? Okay, I couldn't remember. I know he was in that group of, like, side character doodles you did. Headshot doodles you had done. I'm assuming they're all from, like, the same agency. I mean, is Secret Agent bad? I don't know.
Think so.
I would also say, Allie, this is just, like, to help you visualize sometimes, because I know you were having, like, librarian concerns before. If the plan is still to have his glasses be shades, I would, in the sketch, crosshatch them, shade them out, because it will just give, like, a different look to it, visually. Feel like you definitely trust our advice over 99%. I mean, I appreciate it. You know, never trust us fully definitively, but I will say we do have specific general fields that we're pretty good at.
If you ever want to know how to write a story, draw a story, read a story, guys, consume media. That's what's going to teach you a lot about how to write, how to plan, how to organize a plot.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You're horrible with names, Allie.
I mean,
You came
one,
up with
I've
Kai.
liked all the names so far. But two, what I'll say is that, Allie, I think when I feel like I struggle with names, that's when I pick a naming scheme, right? And I think that works for a lot of us. And I honestly, I use literally the naming scheme that we have an Outcast for, like, everything. All my, like, D&D characters, if they are an animal, they're named after the taxonomy of the animal. Or I pick a tree that fits their vibe, and I name them after the taxonomy of that tree. And that's fun for me. But I think it's also a good way to, like, give character associations too, Allie. Like, Scarlet, her name vibes with her vibe too, right? And you can use that to your advantage, because just like in real life, sometimes you meet people and you're like, wow, you don't feel like a Jonathan, you know? Like, oh, you know, how odd of, like, I'm on J names today, apparently. I was gonna say Steven. It's like, oh, you don't feel like a Steven. You know, you don't look like a Steven. You know, that happens sometimes, right? But also, as people, you sometimes, like, grow into your name, right? But it's kind of more just people associating you with that name the longer you know somebody. But a good way to, like, then make... So it's like we have the naming scheme in Outcast, right? Humans have specifically relatively normal names, right? Like, we literally look at, like, baby name generators and, like, make sure that the person name is, like, a person-y name. But you have... Okay, let me save this a second, and I want to show comic Outcast references side characters. Axus Hettling.
Ooh, Dandicus Dandifer? Now that's a name.
This is Perry, right? It's short for Perrin. Specifically, it has the Y in it, right? That was how we wanted to spell it. Perrin, right? And so when we were making these two side characters for him, we were trying to come up with names for them. And I liked... There's a lot of names. Let me even see.
There were so many.
If I can find... There's a lot of options. And I was basically trying to do, like, a bit of a theme. It's me just talking about how fucking hot Andy is, because she is. Jesus Christ.
You're not wrong.
Okay, so this is how we came up with these name ideas, okay? So, Perrin, the name, means stone or rock. And so I was looking up, and then because of how I designed them, this is a femme guy and a mask girl, I wanted them to have gender-neutral-ish names. So I was looking up gender-neutral names that also vibed with the idea of stone, because Perrin was stone. Yeah, exactly. The Y comes in, Allie. The Y comes in. So I came up originally with onyx and clay, and I said they both have Ys like Perry, which is fun, and they both relate back to stone. Onyx being a precious gem and clay being a sediment. And then another idea I came from was, what if we could lean into Perrin molding them in his image, so we could do clay and ryo from rhyolitic, which is a type of magma, which are two ways that things can become stones, forming his image, still keeping the each have a Y, like Perrin. Another idea was sticking with the precious stone bit with onyx, and then have beryl, again with a Y, or cyan from kyanite, or Chris, C-H-R-Y-S, from chrysoberyl. And so then we got to andesite for andesitic lava, and so we got Onyx, we ended up with Onyx and Andy being with the double Ys. So that's how, so we have Andy from andesite and Onyx from Onyx, but they both have Ys. They're both related to stone-ish things, you know, and then Perrin being of a stone, like, you know, meaning that sort of thing. And that's how we got their names. And then I specifically wanted the names to be, that's why Onyx's hair is black, that sort of thing. Those sort of stuff.
I'm being named after a Pokemon.
Being named after a Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah, we went through a lot of names before we got to this one.
So the human names in Outcast are always a little more loose, solely because they are meant to be like regular people names in heavy quotation marks. They're more meant to be like sad
sometimes they
world.
do represent a meaning, like Averett's
but they
name,
do.
for example.
Averett's name, but
Averett Montgomery is his full name, and there is meaning behind it.
Can we name drop his dad?
We can, yes.
So you have Averett, with that sounding, and his father's name is Barnett. So you can see the ending sounds are the same. You know, they have a similar ending sound. Averett and Barnett.
A little bit of a legacy there.
Yeah, a little bit of a legacy. It fits with how Barnett would name his son, sort of thing. All this sort of stuff. Did all that research to find names take a lot of time? I would say that these names have taken the longest, Onyx and Andy specifically. I wouldn't say they take that long.
Hard to settle on one.
Safety net, yeah, exactly.
Finding the names was easy. It was picking one that was
the
time-consuming part.
I think that was the whole thing. I think what really helps me with names is definitely having a theme to go off of, right? So it's like, I started with, I don't have any theme for the names. I looked up, I remembered what Perrin meant, and I went like, all right, what does Perrin mean? And it was like, oh yeah, rock or stone. I'm like, okay, since these characters are supposed to be specifically associated with him, I want them to relate to his name somehow. So now we go with, that's how I get to other rock names, other, you know, he's an only child. Internet, no, that's funny. That would be the middle child, right? You need an older child. Because internet in the middle, the inter and the internet. But,
exactly.
So it's like, and that's how I got there. And then so I was just looking up, I literally typed into Google, I'm like, gender neutral names. And then I was just kind of scrolling down and I was like looking, I was like, ooh, Clay is related. Ooh, Onyx is related, right? And, you don't know what to look up. Okay, Allie, I want to help. Can I help? If you let me help, I'll help. So you don't, so is this for the group of people? Is this for like that group you're making that has, the two other characters? I'm sorry, I'm gonna blank on all their names. Scarlet is a new one that I've got down. I got Kai. We'll get names eventually. But is it those, they're all the same? You all in the nature, or you just want him to be nature? Do they have a relationship somehow? Thing like that.
Yeah, what's the link here? What brings these people together?
Who wants a relaxation planet based off their YouTube user display?
Use names that mean moon. Ooh.
Ooh, okay. I like Mara.
Lots to work with there.
Okay, so Mara and Blue Lady. What's Blue Lady?
Luna would also be a moon name.
Well, I think we're looking for, are we trying to name the guy, or are we just trying to name
or who are we trying to name?
Yeah.
Names in general or specific character?
Yeah. We have Mara and we have Thea. Okay, Thea. That's like Earth goddess, isn't that?
Believe so.
So Mara and Thea. Two guys are in the same group. Okay, so we're naming Sunglasses Guy, and which other side character is, do we have a... So you can, so what I would do, the first thing I think of Yeah, please, Allie. The first thing I think of going, if we're going for moon vibes, is literally looking up all the names to Jupiter and Saturn's moons. They have a lot of names. And now
A good place
remember,
to start.
just like how we don't take the full taxonomic name, and Mason has like edited the name, right? Like Melvin comes from Melbourne. She didn't just name him Melbourne, but she took Melbourne and went, how is that a name? Melvin, Melbourne. Oh, I see the connection, right? And then so when you know it, because you have closer ones like Addie for Adelaide and Sid for Sydney, you can get that like, oh, I see Melvin, Melbourne, that sort of thing. But so my brain first goes to looking up other planet moons. Yeah, Europa is one. Io, those are all named after women, though. We're looking for mass names. So if I look up Jupiter's
we got
moons,
Ganymede.
there's a ton of them. So
Callisto.
Ganymede is a guy. Again, most of these are going to be like Greek Roman mythologies. Ganymede
is also very interesting. I see Io as kind of a gender neutral name.
But you remember, you can take like part of it, right? Or you can like move it around. Like, okay, so we have Lysithia. I don't know if that's how you got Thea. There's a lot of Thea. So Amalthea.
I see Amalthea.
But, so my brain goes to, okay, Lysithia. You could go Lysander. That's a mask name, right? So you could go, oh, Lysithia is a moon. Lysander is like a mask name inspired by the moon, you know? I would love to explore all of Jupiter's moons. Let's see.
On the official website?
Yeah, I'm on NASA right now.
Ooh. Hardcore research is happening right now.
Yeah. Ooh, Metis? I like Metis. That's one of Jupiter's moons.
You could definitely edit that around.
Themisto, we could do Emmy, you could do Misto, you could just do Mist. But like it's inspired, right? Ooh. I had a way I was gonna pronounce this and then I forgot this. Kallyke. Kalik. Kalik is a name. I like that as a name.
Kalik.
But you could just go Cal. Or you could even go Kyle from, you know, like you could get there, right? You can see, oh, it reminds me of Kyle. Like that's how I'm inspired, you know? Kale?
So you see
one of the moons
from
is
point A to point B.
Kale. Allie, I love this shit so much. Character creation and design, I love it so much. Especially like this level, right? Like aesthetically and names. I love that sort of shit. A lot. I love taking a vibe and making it a thing. I have been commissioned fairly consistently by one of my clients who loves to have Ben 10 aliens that become sci-fi or fantasy inspired like weapons, and I'm basically given full reign. I'm like, here's the alien, make it this weapon. That is the coolest shit to me. I love doing that sort of stuff because it's like, ooh, how can I fit? Because one, already the client has already like picked a vibe, you know, based on the alien because they love Ben 10, right? So they're already picking a similar vibe. It's not like it's a random weapon. So we're already in the vibe category.
They have not run out of weapons and aliens.
There's a lot of aliens, Mars. There's a lot of Ben 10 aliens.
I know. I'm being reminded how many there actually were.
But you can go there and Archie, Arche is one of Jupiter's moons. Archie. Fucking top tier shit. It's great.
That's a good find.
Dia, that's also a good. I'm looking specifically for mask names though right now. But Ursa, also a moon. I know that's a femme one, but that's a good name. Ursa. Ooh. That's a good one. Those are Jupiter moons inspired. Let's look up Saturn's moons. But this is my shit, Allie. Please, never a fucking bother. I would do this all day, every day if I could. I have debated being a character, like a character concept artist. I've just never gotten there. Not there are only 10. No, Jupiter has a fuck ton of moons. Saturn has a fuck ton of moons.
Oh no, there's a ton.
Number of
Peak, I could see Paul
moons.
coming from that.
Jupiter has 95 moons. Number of Saturns.
Oh, there's so many.
There's so many moons.
Oh,
Saturn
Ymir.
has
I know where Attack on Titan got it from.
274. Now, they're not all named. They're not all named.
Ymir.
I'm looking at Saturn.
I'm trying to find the ones that
Phoebe.
look more like me. Oh, Fenrir.
Phoebe's a good one.
Fenrir I recognize.
Janus is another good one. They're both feminine, but some Rhea. Saturn has a lot of good real news. Atlas, top tier.
Ooh, Atlas is good.
That one's good.
And Saladus, is that how you pronounce that?
I don't know where we are.
Saladus?
Oh, must have changed. There's a lot of fucking moons. They're definitely not all named, though.
We got Prometheus.
Yeah, there's a ton. But honestly, if you, like, pick a mythological name, you're probably gonna hit a moon name.
Ooh.
Not gonna lie.
There's one named Pan.
Kari, Kari. Hati, Hati. Literally, a Saturn moon is named Fenrir, so, you know.
Yep. I found that one earlier.
Yep.
One is called Fornjot.
Skirmir. Yeah, and then a lot of unnamed ones.
Bird.
Yeah.
Belly.
Ton of ones.
Okay, I've officially hit the non-named category.
Yeah, exactly. Uranus is Puck. Puck's a good name.
Puck is good.
Galatea. That's just a good one.
Stefano. Ooh,
Larissa.
That's a good one too.
Larissa. This is a moon of Neptune. Larissa. Sao. Sao. A moon of Saturn. Sao. Nesso. Also a moon of Saturn. There's a lot of good ones. Francisco and Ferdinand. You don't know? Oh, sorry, Allie. We've given you too many.
Oh,
Okay.
Nesso.
Okay. What is the first one from memory? Right now, Allie, from memory. What is the first one you think of?
Yes.
From memory now. Don't
This
look
will
at any of
help us
lists.
see
Don't look
which
at anything.
one
Just what's your
resonates
favorite
with
right
you.
there? Just what's stuck in your head. You just gotta snippy snappy.
Or one or top three if you can.
Yeah, if you have more than one. But you know, sometimes if there's a lot, I'm just like done. The title's a damn lie.
It used to not be, and then Cartoon Network decided they wanted more toy sales.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Allie. We've overwhelmed you. I'm just trying to think of. It's a great
overload.
name. Yeah. Too many choices. All right, I'm trying to think. We're looking at this guy specifically. Now, okay, we're looking. So these two bros. Ooh, I like Beard Man. Okay. So, sunglasses guy, he gives me a lot. He's like fun, he's kind of loose, he's kind of cool. He also gives me kind of chill, right? He gives me kind of chill, this sort of thing, whatever. Let's, I know I like the
Can't see him as a
Jupiter
Pan.
one.
I think that one's out.
Pan is not bad. Pan is not bad. I don't know if I feel like that's Thea, Mara, and Pan. It doesn't fit
have a
the
ring to it.
same vibe. There was one. Let me see here 1 second. I did like. I could see Kale. I did like. Ooh.
I could see Kale or Kyle.
Yeah, I like Kyle. And
What
I
do you
will
think,
say,
Kyle?
for Beard Man, I like Archie. Arche.
He really does give Archie
Right?
vibes.
I like Beard Guy gives Archie, and Sunglasses gives
Sunglasses
Kyle
gives Kyle.
or Kale. In that, the k noise is very nice. I like the k noise for him.
The cut just fits him because for some reason it's like aligning
Well, it's
with
like
the personality he's
Kyle.
portraying. Like the
So right now
is
I'm
a very
looking at
hard
Jupiter's
sound.
moons, Allie. So these are both from Jupiter's moon list. Kale is just a flat moon name. Archie, again, there's no I in it, just Arche. Again, just a flat Jupiter moon name. And Kyle we got from, I'll find it exactly.
It was it Kalik?
Yeah,
No, it
Kala
was someone
something.
else.
Yeah, here it is.
I think it was Kalik.
Yeah, Kalyke, and we sort of morphed it, like visually my brain went, Kyle. Those are the ones that really,
either Kale
I
or
would
Kyle.
say, vibe. Ooh, last one for Sunglasses Guy, I can also see Metis.
It's matching that 2-syllable word pattern because you got like 1 to 2 syllables.
Yeah,
you
that's
got
2.
Mara,
That's nice.
Thea,
That's nice. You got Archie. Yeah, Archie, Kyle. Yeah, Kale doesn't fit if we're going at. We got Thea, Mara, Archie, and Kyle or Metis.
Yeah.
Those between for Sunglasses Guy, it depends on how like abstract you want to go, right? Kyle is very, this is a guy I could meet on the street in real life, right? Versus Metis is like, it's a little more fantasy sci-fi, right? You know what I'm saying? It just takes you out of Earth a little more. Archie, I like just, he's just an Archie. I like the Archie.
Kyle is a gender-neutral place name rooted in... Hang on, let me see. Because I want to see what the meaning behind the name Kyle is. Because that's another thing. When you pick...
That one might be a more... water thing.
And nicknames for Kyle, Kai. Okay, but I want meaning. Where did it go? I just had it.
Narrow, straight, confidence, resilience, trust. A narrow, straight. The YL names are always like water related. That's just how it is. Dylan is Dark Prince of the Sea or something like that. Kyle is narrow, straight. What's the other one?
Ooh, Scottish and Irish origins. Comes from Gaelic.
Yeah. A lot of them are fucking water related. But there.
But then you can also get into the name variations of that. You got Kylen, Kyler.
Yeah. So you basically, you go down a rabbit hole. And then, so Mars has learned about a good test as well. From the Infinity Train creators. Their big thing is, can the name be screamed well? Does it sound good as a scream, as a yell, as a call?
Scream the name and it sounds important?
Yeah, and the reason to do that is because that was very important for the story that those characters would need their name to be yelled, right? So it would have to sound good being yelled. If these characters, like, vast majority of our characters don't need their names being screamed, so it doesn't matter as much, but the ones that do, we do check. We do check.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's interesting, Penguin. I have never heard of Metis being a feminine name at all. I'm glad, Allie.
That's the first time I've heard that too.
Metis, because I think Mephistopheles when I see Metis, right? And that's very masculine. I go, Mephistopheles, Metis. Yeah, mask to me. But that would be basically what I do, Allie, right? It's what we just did, right? So you're like, moon vibes. And I'm like, wow, there's a fuck ton of moons on other planets too, And then it would be like that. Or if I all wanted them to be, say, Earth's moon, right? This is just an example. If I all wanted them to be related to Earth's moon specifically, I would say moon anatomy. Is that what I want? Moon diagram. I would do stuff like that. And they give you like labels of stuff, right, that are other moon-related words, right? So they have
So you can kind of pull
the
from
moon.
that
So
as
it's like,
well.
oh, okay. And then I literally looked up moon anatomy on Google, and there's a bunch of diagrams. And I found this diagram, and it shows, it's from Wikipedia, and it shows me like the Sea of Tranquility, the Sea of Serenity. And I went, and in my brain, I'm like, oh, they have craters and seas that are named on the moon, right? We've been to the moon, we named them. So now I'd go like moon sea names, right? And a list of Maria on the moon, right? Those are the seas of the moon. And now, and you see, okay, these are all mostly named after vibes. You have the Serpent Sea, the Sea of Knowledge, the Sea of thing. And it's like, okay, so now if I wanted to keep with the sea stuff, they also have Latin names. They have Latin names. So Mare, Crisium. And so it's like, ooh, Chris, C-R-I-S. There you go, whatever. Or I could go another way and I could go, ooh, Sea of Cleverness. Then I could go and I could look up names that mean cleverness, and then I could see, ooh, names that
and kind of get to it from that angle as well.
Right? And then I can be like, ooh, okay, names meaning clever. Boy's name meaning clever. The internet's a great resource, and it tells me all these boy names that mean clever, and then we can get there. And then I can pick that. And then when I can like that name really, really well, it's gonna be like, okay, if I picked Avery, now I can say, ooh, okay, I like, now all the...
Baby name sites are very useful.
Baby name sites
for this
are fantastic.
Kind of thing.
Metis was Zeus's first wife and mother of Athena. There you go. All right.
There's
The
some
screen
meaning.
tef is a great, yeah. All right, I was gonna write. But that's also why I keep saying like mask or femme names and not like girl or boy names, because I'm just like, it doesn't really matter, mask vibes.
Because eventually it all gets morphed anyhow.
Well, it's like Tracy now is considered femme, but that was originally a man's name,
Anyhow, things change.
Also a good thing to do, Allie. See, then it gives your brain turning, right? And it's like, ooh, okay, now I can see like, ooh, I really like this name, but they would have been made fun of as a child. Like that, like great, like Megumi in Jujutsu Kaisen. That's a feminine name. They specifically point it out. They specifically talk about it, and he specifically is upset about it, whatever. And he's like, has this thing. So, yeah. It can also become character traits that way. Sometimes the best ones pop up like that. So, Allie, please, all of you, everybody in chat, don't be afraid to ask us questions in the Discord, okay? Especially about writing and character creation and whatever. The reason that we are in
during the day because of my nature of work, but I will get to them in the evening.
We'll get to them eventually, but I will say we both went into fields specifically because we like talking about things, okay? We both went into fields that are like, we enjoy talking about the things that we know.
We like explaining shit.
And also, we never feel obligated in the Discord to like... I don't know. Someone would say, they're like, "Oh, sorry for wasting time." It's like, if we're responding, it's because we want to. All right, like I promise, not wasting time. If you could see, Dylan is barely on there. That's why I at him sometimes when it's like a specific thing where I'm like, "Okay, Dylan, want to see?" Because I know he's not on a ton of things, right? So, but like, we're good. We're not iPad babies. We're good at being off the internet when we want to, or when we have to. I have muted the Discord. Okay, I just want to make sure, all of you. Mason does it too, as strong. It's not just you. And I know people can be, concerned or insecure. We're not big creators. I don't want...
We are all human at the end of the day.
And we're not in a position where there's too many of you. But literally, I know that for Mars and I and Dylan, there's a reason Dylan has a specific channel for it. We love answering questions about the things that we are passionate about and that we are trained in.
Guys, there's a writing channel. If you ever need writing advice.
There's a writing channel. Mars would love to go on about like SLP stuff all the time. So phonetics and vocal stuff and all that.
Has questions about that.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying. I love bio questions.
To answer them.
you know, but of course, writing questions, art questions, characterization questions, all this sort of stuff. Don't be afraid to ask. We're never going to be upset if you ask. The most that we'll say is, I'm sorry, I don't know that, or this is how I learned it from here, if there's, like, you know, something weird. Otherwise, we'll go on and on and on. So just never be afraid.
Hit a point where it's just like, I don't know,
Never
we
be
just
concerned.
do it, and I don't remember how I learned.
Yeah, okay, because we're definitely not afraid to be like, I don't know. No, it's okay. It's a joke. Never be concerned.
Don't worry about it.
I like that too, Mason. One of my favorite things is I loved the Nancy Drew books, and Nancy Drew's best friend, her name is George. Spelt exactly how we expect it to be spelt. It is not short for anything. It is not a nickname for anything. It is just her name. Her parents named her that. And the book tells you, every single book, at least the ones by the original author, tell you this. That George likes her name. That she feels it fits her. And she, you know, she's a tomboy, very classic tomboy. I mean, you know, they're older books and whatever. But, like, she likes it. It's great. And I'm like, that's the coolest shit, in my opinion. Right, like having that as like a role model growing up. Like, she's obviously not Nancy Drew, but being like, because I have, well, technically a gender neutral name, I've only ever met guys with this name. You know, I've only ever seen it really used as a mask name. I'm named after someone who used it as a masked name. That was what inspired my parents to do it. It was actually the last name. But there are some, you know, women with it, but it's vast majority men. And so having that, I was never insecure about my name, but it was very cool to see that in a book. As be like, this person's name is George, and she is a woman, and she likes being a woman and being named George. And I'm like, that's just a cool thing. So love that sort of stuff. You heard how, like, in most languages, the words for mother starts with their equivalent of M.
Equivalent M.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. M is one of those first sounds that people learn because, one, it's a bilabial sound, so you're putting your lips together to make it, but it's also a nasal sound.
Well, that's her last name.
So your velum that cuts off the airflow to your nose, that's actually lowered and down to allow air to pass through. If you actually make an and hold your finger to your nose, you can actually feel that vibration in your nose. That's the air passing through.
And that's also why you can't hum.
Sound.
If you pinch your nose, you can't hum.
Exactly.
Which is a wild thing
Same
to
thing
think
goes
about.
for N, too. That But if you try that with any other consonant, you won't feel that buzz in your nose. And if you do, you might want to get that looked at. That would mean your velum is lowered during those sounds. It's not raised like it should be. Because you want that seal. You don't want that air to escape through your nasal. Now, of course, if you're doing voice acting and doing it intentionally to give your character a nasally sounding voice, that's a different story.
Mars, if I remember correctly, D is actually one of the harder sounds to make. The D for dada.
D
right?
is one of the harder ones.
So,
that's what we call an alveolar sound because it hits the alveolar ridge, which is right behind your front teeth. It does feel weird.
Oh, see, that was one of my things my father did very early in life. Was like, hey, Ori, I bet you can't hum well, like, holding your nose. And I'd be like, of course I can, Dad!
Nope, you can't.
No, you can't.
You can't do it. It feels all blocked up when you try. Yeah, Penguin. Also the B and the P.
Good night, Mason.
B and P are also... Good night, Mason. B and P are also bilabial sounds. You're bringing your lips together to make that B and pop your lips. You're bringing your two lips together to make that and popping your lips as well. The only difference between the B and the P is that for B, your vocal folds are vibrating. For P, they're not vibrating. It's a unvoiced sound. So those are cognizant of each other. They have the same manner and place, but the voicing changes between the two. I'm glad, Allie.
Honestly, that's why I love our streams because we're all very knowledgeable in our fields, which are all very different from each other, which I think makes for a really cool dynamic for that we all have...
Literally, the things Ori, I, and Dylan do could not be more different from each other.
Yeah. It's really crazy. And then to have, like, you know, like, just a wide spectrum of interest in that sort of thing is very cool because we're all interested in learning. All of us love to learn, but we all went into very different fields. So it's just a very interesting sort of thing. Intelligent people sipping tea with their pinkies out. Yeah, exactly. I think Dylan's avatar does have his pinky out when he sips his boba tea. Oh my god. Okay. I'm totally off tracking because I fucking reminded myself. I went to a delicious place for lunch on Friday. Yeah, on Friday with Dylan. It was great. And everything was in waffles. They only had waffle. And one of the things was a waffle dog. And it's like a Korean place. Where I live is very, like, a lot of Korean places. And it was a hot dog. It can have other stuff too. And it was like a corn dog, but a waffle. And the waffle was so crispy. Oh my god, that shit was great. But the big thing that I learned about myself is I usually don't like boba tea. I don't like the texture of the bubbles, of the tapioca pearls.
She does
I really don't like it. However, I do love Calpico water. Calpico is probably my favorite drink in the entire world. I love Calpico. It's not carbonated. I love the flavor. It's great. If you haven't tried Calpico, get it. I like the original flavor more than any other flavor as well. Original flavor, best flavor. However, sadly, when I went to college, it was a lot easier to get Milkies, I don't know how you want to say it, Milkies, than it was to get Calpico. And Milkis is basically Calpico, but it's carbonated. And it's still very good. I don't need it to be carbonated. You know, I like Calpico better. But Milkis is still good. I still like Milkis. So it is definitely, like, on the list of things that I like. No, it's another I. Milkis. But I also like Yakult. And they're all kind of in the same flavor of, like, citrus creamsicle vibes, but not creamsicle taste. That's the best I can say. They call it like yogurt flavor, which it is, but you need to try it in order to understand. Thank you, Penguin. But so we went to this place and they had a bunch of different aids. And so those were, like, you know, a type of drink that they had. And one of the types of drink they had was Milkis Aid. I was like, that sounds fucking epic as shit. Like, that's what I want. So and I saw it comes with, they call it rainbow jelly. And I was just like, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to have it. I'm going to try it. I fucking love rainbow jelly, guys. Fuck yes. That shit's good. It's literally just like slices
Won't
of
touch
different
tapioca pearls, but will enjoy.
I can't do the flavor of tapioca pearls. I can't
rainbow
do it.
jelly.
I don't like the tapioca flavor, and they're chewier. The rainbow jelly is more like sliced pieces of Jell-O, so you don't even have to, like, chew them at all or anything like that. And
they just kind of melt in your mouth?
Yeah, and they're fruity. They're rainbow because they're fruity. It was like orange and red and like a cream color. Oh my god. Fucking best drink of my life was this Milkis Aid. Holy hell.
Damn.
An aid to my Milkis.
Aid
like lemonade.
Order some?
Yeah, okay. We have our link click date. That has to be its own special thing, but another time you can come out. It's right by my house.
Yeah, that's a different time.
So it's right by my house, but we can go because it's great. It's delicious. We'll make a time for that. I'll bring the lactate pills. When I have the dog, you can come out and visit me, and we'll go.
Oh, awesome.
That's in April, end of April, I think. So it's so good. They also have bingsu. I got bingsu there. Oh my god.
Ooh. Okay, so we know what we're getting. We're getting
it's a massive bingsu, though.
And
it's a massive bingsu. It's like massive. Oh my god.
How massive are we talking?
It was big. Let me see if I can send you the picture. I think I can. Hold on.
I'm a little intimidated.
You should
But I'm up
be.
for the
It
challenge.
was massive. I don't know if you can really tell the scale of that.
We're about to find out.
But
Hang
then
on,
this
I'm
is the
typing.
waffle dog, which is great. Which honestly, I would recommend more.
Holy shit, that's huge!
Right? It's huge. I mean, it's like a lot of air, but
That's
it's
not
a
the
lot.
dainty little Bingsu I saw on
No.
Google.
No.
God damn.
It's good. You think I just
That's
processed
not
how
a big
wide
Sue,
her voice?
that's a big
He's
Sue.
wide. He is He is a large man. It is very important that he is a large man. I don't know how much I can spoil about what's gonna happen. I don't want to spoil.
We can't spoil everything. I will say this. When you encounter this man for the first time in the comic, he will not be in a position of power. He's not going to look this put together.
No, I was
He's not gonna look
trying to
this
get
confident.
a point where I'm in the middle of attempting to draw him in a more disheveled, angry light.
Yes, disheveled is the word. He shall be disheveled when you guys first meet him.
That was my goal for this one. We're gonna run out of time though, probably, but such is life.
Worth a shot. You love him already? Ah, thank you, Allie.
I'm glad. He does come around.
He is a lovely man.
Yeah, no, seriously. This is why it's so funny. I, like, when I'm talking about the, like, why does this character look so put together? Me over here, like, I want Everett to be disgusting. Not disgusting. I want him to just look like he had a bad time, right? I want this person to look like a drowned rat. I want this person to look like they've been through it. You know what I'm saying? I need you to look at it and be like, that character has been through some shit.
Oh, yeah. It's like you said last week. Hudson, my beloved, my beautiful boy. Okay, back to you, bitch.
Yeah, literally.
Back to you, you bitch. Oh, Everett, we love you. We just love you differently.
Yeah. There's also, like, a level of,
Hi, Penguin.
I love Everett like I love
industrial
Fakir.
equipment, because we don't really have that in this universe.
I love Everett like I love Fakir. He is a
Yeah.
bitch at the beginning.
He's my glorious asshole.
Fuck Fakir at the beginning. He sucks. Hate. End of game Fakir? My favorite boy. Love,
and he has a turnaround, and
so
it's all okay.
That's Everett. That's Everett. Beginning Everett, you piece of shit. We hate you. Everybody should hate you. You are a piece of shit. And you'll see. Like, guys, you're gonna see. The canon Everett content
I love
is
writing
coming.
assholes.
Yeah.
I love writing dicks.
Mars really, really, really does. Your ears are not happening, my guy. Let's try this again.
I've heard critics talk about how it's fun to watch asshole characters, like, be assholes, because it's like, they get to do the things we wish we could do, but we don't, because we're either too nice, or we just, we follow societal norms. We know we're not supposed to do that stuff, so just to write a character that just doesn't give a shit about any of that. It's cathartic. It is cathartic.
It's cathartic in a way. No. Oh no, not the out of context quotes.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
exactly, pastry puff. Squeeze. Okay, now I feel
Yep.
better.
And I just want to squeeze him till he pops. Is that so wrong?
We need to bend Everett until he breaks, and then we can put him back together. You know what I'm saying?
We need to bend him. We need to break him.
We need to snap him in
crush
half.
his hopes and dreams.
And then, from the pieces, he can start the healing journey. Because he's gonna be like the fucking pottery, right? that you put back together with the gold, because the broken part is like the better part.
Yes.
So we need to take the bad bowl that is Everett, and we need to smash him into a bunch of little pieces so that we can put
Kintsugi.
the bowl.
You're
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
about Kintsugi.
Yeah, so we could put the bowl back together, but not in the same bowl shape. You know, kind of like the Ami pot, right? We'll put it back together
It's still
different.
Everett. It's just
Yeah, it's a bowl, but it's a
better.
different bowl, and now it also has gold in it. Yeah, can't make an Everett without breaking his eggs.
Can't make an Everett without breaking him.
Yeah, him in general. Literally think any of the characters he's inspired by. Zuko, Hunter. Yeah.
There's another one in there.
They're the main ones. Fakir, did Fakir break? Nah, Fakir broke. He fucking stabbed himself.
Fakir
Yeah.
did break.
Ooh, and when he
I
calls
don't know
out
how
to
inspired
duck guys.
by Fakir he is.
No, but Fakir is my
But
reverse
it's definitely
Sasuke.
got notes.
Guys, if you want a really surprisingly deep but fun anime, it's only 2 seasons. It's called Princess Tutu. It's an older magical girl anime. She doesn't actually ever fight, which is cool. Like, it's very much about, like, love and learning about your issues and, like, solving your inner problems. She doesn't actually ever, like, fight anybody like Sailor Moon fights people. But it's very deep. It's got a lot of deep meaning stuff to it. It has, yeah, you're gonna see a crash out. Allie, you are gonna see a crash. You think Zuko had a crash out? This man is gonna have a crash out.
This man's gonna crash, and we are here
Everett
for
is
it.
gonna crash the fuck out. Damn.
He's gonna have a time.
He's gonna have a time.
He's not gonna like it, but it's gonna be good for him. We're his parents, so we can say that.
We're specifically not his parents, and that's why he needs to have this fucking crash.
Well, his dad is only his parent in canon. We actually gave birth to him.
Yeah. I'm Cersei's mama and papa. I've recently seen different... See, it's funny. I used to see... in, like, the VTuber space, you were, like... The artist was the mama and the rigger was the papa, no matter the gender of the person doing the thing. But now I'm seeing more in the VTuber space that it has to do with your gender. And I'm like, nah, bring it back. I want the rigger to always be the papa and the, artist to always be the mama. Or either way, I don't care. But, like, make it that it's, like, the role you played is what determines mama or papa and not, your personal gender. I feel like that just fits better. And thus I can still be Cersei's mama and papa. Okay, so I'm specifically trying to make him more disheveled here by separating his bang bits. You can see they're kind of put together here, but here I've kind of splayed them out. Trying to make him a little more. I guess. Now, Mars, I'm gonna ask you a question. Would he have ponytail where he is when we meet him? Or do we not want ponytail? We want full disheveled.
I would say full disheveled.
All right.
And longer hair than what he should have.
All right. Okay, we've been around the block for a little bit. We're saying, all right.
We've been around the block.
Okay.
Remember, he's seen what goes on
I
in that
know.
place.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I am the ultimate being of mom and dad. Cersei is the only child I will have, because God, VTuber making, man, Jesus. I will say, I'm really excited.
And your pupper get that
I'm
honor.
really excited for the hands, guys. You don't know how much it means to me that y'all in chat have been very excited about my cursor antics, because Dylan always gets sad about it. He always gets upset when I'm like dancing with the cursor to the music, because he's very distractible, because he's a little neurospicy, I'm 99% sure, and he's very distractible by it. And he's trying to read the lines.
I'm stealing neurospicy. That's just
oh,
too good.
that's an internet thing. Neurospicy. Yeah, I didn't make that one. But
I missed that one somehow.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah, exactly, pastry puff. Yeah. Best parents is what I was saying. But, yeah, when I like, stroked, Greg's, like, jawline, right? I thought we all, well,
That's
we
just
don't.
funny because I started to zone for a bit,
We
and then I
don't
just see
have-
your cursor, like, not moving across the screen, but going along the exact line of his
I'm
jaw,
glad we
and I'm
like
like,
cursor tomfoolery.
Corey's fucking stroking Gregory.
Guys, I'm very glad we like cursor tomfoolery because we're gonna have the best of both worlds, right? The second Cersei's done, I'm making a live 2D cursor finger, okay? So it'll be just like the cursor we have, but it will actually be a VTuber model. And what I mean by that, it's not gonna track my face, but it will track the mouse movement. Now, what's so great about it is only you guys will see it. I'm sorry, Mars, but good for Dylan. Dylan won't be able to see all the antics it can get up to because it won't come across the Discord feed. It'll only come across the stream. And what's neuro umami? I don't know. What would neuro umami be?
Neuro mommy.
Neuro sour. But, neuro bitter. No, only neuro spicy works.
Neuro umami.
Yeah, neuro umami, exactly.
I'm sorry, I read that as neuro mommy. I'm like, I'm not sure where to go with that.
You're neuro
Neuro
astringent. But so the cursor will be its own like VTuber model. So it'll have one movement based on my mouse, so it'll be more than just like it'll move, it'll wiggle, it'll like bob a little bit, it'll have physics, but I can have presets to it. So it'll have presets, so I can actually have the cursor do like a stroke on the screen. So I can have it go. And I can actually have it like open it. I'm mimicking it on my screen like you can fucking see what I'm doing, but it'll like, you know, open hands. It's gonna like slap, big one. There's a bunch of other presets I'm gonna do, and I'm very excited for that because honestly, I have not seen anybody do that to the extent that we're doing it. Obviously, it's inspired by somebody who has like a VTube model thing. Bleeding edge stroking technology, exactly. And slapping. The slapping is important too. The slapping is important too.
It's very important. You can't not have the slapping.
But so when I'll click, it'll actually like poke the screen like an actual click. Like I could do shit like that. Like it's gonna be really, 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 really epic. I'm really, 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 really excited for that. Sorry, Cersei, but I'm way more excited for that. It just gives me like a fart in the wind. Yo. Oh no.
Are we talking about Larry Butts?
No. But I mean, if something stinks. But so I'm very, very excited for that. And then it'll be just like this. Like it'll have the protagonist's like sleeve on it and everything. Because if my understanding is correct, it'll be very easy to change the color of the sleeve. And even just the design of the sleeve. So I'm very excited for that. I'm really, really hoping that it'll definitely be by the second trilogy. That I can guarantee. There's no way it's gonna... One, it won't take me nearly as long as Cersei is. And Cersei's nearly done. Cersei has like 3 videos left that pertain to me. Because I don't think I'm gonna bother too hard with like... presets, just because what she's used for, I don't think I really need different expressions. But it's Larry's game writing. Yeah, Larry's game 3 writing.
So bad.
So I have not seen the most recent one, Estrock. I've only seen the first and the second one. I love Venom 2018, I think it is. I love Venom 2018. The first one is great. I really enjoy it. It's a fun buddy cop movie. If you like the idea of Venom, the buddy cop, it's good. He still is Venom, like he still has, but he's not like as evil entity as he even is done in like the 3rd Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. But I do like Eddie Brock in it. Tom Hardy does a very good job, in my opinion. Really enjoyed it. Venom 2018, top tier movie, one of my favorites. Again, it's a fun time. Let There Be Carnage, kind of. Yeah, no. First
Good.
Venom, do it. Estrock, please watch the first one. Top tier shit. I highly recommend Venom 2018.
It is a fun time.
I highly recommend Venom 2018. To anybody here, if you moderately like Marvel action movies, it's a good time. It's buddy cop. Yeah, you got some homoerotic vibes into it. Literally, yeah, I won't spoil. Very good. I liked it. Top tier. I haven't seen the third one, like I said. The second one, kind of a disappointment. I feel it very much feels like they did the first one again, but with a different villain. Basically, my incredibly mild general overarching plot. Spoilers, I'm not, nothing of the intricacies, literally just, plot vibe of the whole thing. The plot vibe of the whole movie, mild spoilers, of the first Venom is Eddie Brock getting Venom and learning to work together with Venom, right? They need to solve their differences, they need to work together, be a team. And that's how the movie ends. They've done it, they've been a team, okay? The second movie is basically they're going through a rough patch and they have to be a team again. So, nothing happens, if that makes sense, right? It doesn't feel like anything progresses the story in a way. It's we ended movie 1 with them being a good team, and we started movie 2 with them having, a falling out. And then by the end of movie 2, they're a team again. I have yet to...
It's kind of lame.
Venom 2, kind of lame. I have yet to see Venom 3. I do want
There's
to
a
see
3?
it. Yeah, there's a third one. It came out, just end of last year.
Missed that one.
Yeah, that one is the one I am most interested in because of how the Venom 2, Spider-Man... I'm sorry, it's Spider-Man No Way Home after credit scene went. So I am curious about Venom 3, but I haven't seen it yet. So I do have to see that one. I can't recommend. But I cannot recommend enough. For a good vibe time buddy cop movie, definitely watch Venom 2018. Venom 1. Definitely watch it. And I will say, I don't dislike Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. I will say it's not, the craziest, best movie, my favorite thing. I love the one scene.
I still think it's a good time.
There's one scene that I find cinematically beautiful in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. Spoilers for that if you don't know anything about it, basically. But Spider-Man is fighting Eddie Brock Venom, and they're in, scaffolding, and Venom, the symbiotes, they're sensitive to a certain frequency of sound, okay? It's not the Sandman Rising scene. No. But
no, although
the
that
symbiotes,
one is very good.
That one is very good. But the symbiotes are sensitive to sound. That's a big weakness of theirs. A certain frequency, disrupts them, and they start having a problem, and it hurts them and everything. Spider-Man realizes this, and it starts with the church bell ringing, okay? And he learns about this, and so now they're fighting, and they're in this scaffolding, and Spider-Man realizes that this is how he does. So he starts taking pipes, I guess, and he starts jamming them into the ground around Eddie Brock Venom and ringing them. Yeah, and it just keeps going with the ring, and the camera pans as you're watching Eddie Brock having a bad time with Venom, and Spider-Man's just 1 2 ring, 1 2 ring around until it's all these pipes
so good.
around him as these bars that he could totally slip through, right? A person could fit through, but they're ringing, and just inside this sound cage is Eddie Brock with Venom, and they're having a bad time. And it's just, I love that scene so much. That's a big, cinematic inspirational scene for me.
Super memorable.
That one, sticks in my head really hard. I will say also the lighting of, the bell tower scene, that, framing is very interesting as well. But I love the pipe bars scene. I love, that's like top, like that scene sticks in my head really hard for like a lot of movies,
The
right?
Sandman
Like that
one
moment.
gets you emotional.
Yeah,
The
Sandman,
Venom
but this
bar
is like a
scene gets
cool,
you hyped.
like yeah, it's a hype scene, and it's just this, beautiful. With that though, I think we will end. So thank you all for coming. Remember, guys, Thursday we're not doing Making Time. We're gonna have Rage Paint Games on here. She's a friend of the channel. She streams as well on Twitch, but she's gonna be on our channel for this, where we're gonna make. You guys get to vote on 2 Pokemon that we are going to fuse into a new Pokemon, but in a humanoid form. Colorize it. So we're going to make a colorized Pokemon fusion, and while that's happening, Mars is going to be making a
Pokedex entry.
Pokedex entry for it, and she will have a list of words where you guys get to vote on a word that we also have to incorporate into our designs, and Mars has to incorporate into her Pokedex entry.
I'm so excited.
Mars will get to look at both Rage and Mai's like art pieces, but we won't be able to look at each other's, so ours could be wildly different interpretations. And all of y'all can be on the Gartic phone that will not have like a timer to draw your pieces as well. So you can draw either just the hybrid Pokemon or, you know, a humanoid version as well on Gartic phone, or you could do it not on Gartic phone. Gartic phone is just, you know, the easy way for us to see it after, but we'll totally take him in the couch if you do it on your art program, because I totally understand wanting to draw on your art program over the Gartic phone. But so we hope to see you there. It is earlier, guys. It is earlier. It does start an hour earlier. We are still going to stream for 2 hours, but Rage 3 hours total. But Rage will probably only stick around for the first 2. So it does start at 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. So that is an hour earlier than our normal stream. So just be aware of that. So we are going to start. I know, Penguin. I'm sorry, especially with daylight time. I'm very sorry.
It's so frustrating.
But we won't.
It will be worth it, I promise.
Well, even if you don't get up, like I said, we're still gonna stream for the full 3 hours. Mars and I, Rage will just be there for the first 2. So, you know, totally show up late. You know, no harm, no foul. Yeah, make sure to like the video, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. I think you're all subscribed, but maybe Cosmo's not. But if you appreciated that, subscribe. Thank you to our lovely YouTube channel members. They scrolled by. And thank you all for that. And yeah, we'll see you all on Thursday. Good night, everyone.
So excited.
Well, you should be able to join the Gartic either way, Allie. But again, either way, if you do it on your own like art program, you can still put it in the Discord, and we'll still show it off at the end, because it is basically going to be like an hour or more of us doing that. That's like the whole stream is basically us like chilling and just having a good time while doing this Pokemon. So much like this stream tonight, you know, talking with the chats, but you'll get to see her chat as well. And her people, and she's really cool. She does a lot of cool stuff, dino stuff. She's working on like bluey emotes now with Chattermax for Twitch, so very cool.
Oh,
Great. I think you all
fun.
love her. She's really fun. And yeah, so we'll see you all Thursday. Good night.
You guys are gonna have a good time. See you guys. Have a great Wednesday.